time to dust off your and get ready. It's MNC Morning. They're back in the better than ever.
Thank you all. Thank you for the applause. No, really.
Please take a seat.
Too much. I mean, come on. Welcome to MNC Mornings. It is Sunday morning. We're a little bit late, running a little bit behind, but hey, no worries because we are here and you're here. So let's go ahead and put on a kick-ass show. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm sure we have a ton of voicemails. I don't even know how many voicemails we have. J-Dubs, how many voicemails we have?
We've got about 11.
11. Woo! Man, you figure we'd have a lot more giving away a year of EA access, but I guess not. And with me, as always, the co-host with the most. I'm a Mooch Maniac myself. Mooch, what's up, man?
What's up, buddy? What's going on? Yeah, no, this is great. We had I feel like we've been in tune with the community all weekend. It's been a lot of streaming. I was actually going to stream last night, but everything just got so hectic. Probably do a little bit of streaming later today. I just feel like, man, streaming's like the new podcasting, isn't it? Crap,
yeah.
Your phone's going off like crazy, wasn't it, the other night?
Yeah, it was. I had literally 20 alerts. I'm not sure if it was a mess up on Beam's part, but it was like, this person's streaming. I would click on it, and they didn't have a stream up. It was like She-Wolf has gone live. Next Gen has gone live. Next Gen has gone live, and I was like, huh. There's something a little bit weird about that, but
I've been actually having a lot of problems with Beam. I've been trying to Beam stream a lot of Mortal Kombat this week, and I could stream for about 8 minutes and then it cuts off.
That's interesting. What do you think that is, though? Do you think that's the internet, your internet, or you think it's Beam?
No, I think it may be the fact that I'm in the preview program, maybe.
Well, that preview program is causing more issues than the fire escapes that the 20s had during the Triangle Fire issue. I'm telling you, there's so many issues with that goddamn thing. I mean, listen, I got news for you. I guess there's tiers, right? Crap of different preview members. Yeah. And I'm in I guess we'll call it the mediocre. I'm not the one that gets the brand new out of the box alpha. But I mean, here's the thing. We were talking about this. This is a community discussion. And the folks over at Xbox, they do need our help. So the folks that are out there doing the alphas and a lot of the MVPs and ambassadors, I tip my hat to you. Thank you so much for the work that you do in the community and helping Microsoft solve these issues. But us, the consumer that want to help, the one thing we don't want to do is come home from a 12-hour workday to get home and realize that the minute you click on an app, your Xbox crashes. It's like, welcome to alpha.
Well, what's happened yesterday was, I guess there was a little bit of issues, and right when we were like, there's not really any issues with the party chat on Xbox Live. Yeah, because we were doing game night, and nobody could stay in the chat at all. Like, there's some kind of issue with that right now with this particular preview, so nobody was able to stay in the game chat. So we were doing Black Ops 2 in game chat, which sounds like, oddly enough, like the PS4 party chat. So I mean. Yeah, you can imagine what that was like, right?
It was bad crap. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Here's the thing. Where are we at with preview? Remember, guys, let's go back. Let's just go back into a time capsule here. Let's go back to 2013, 2014, when we were all like, okay, we see that Microsoft, and Sony to a certain extent, but definitely Microsoft kind of launched this console with a lot of changes in mind. And the thing about it is this. We wanted the latest and greatest because we felt like the Xbox UI needed the latest and greatest. It needed updates in certain areas badly. We knew this. But now we're all at a point where I think I speak for the majority, where we're all content. That doesn't mean that we don't want Microsoft to continue making the UI better. Please do. Yeah. But I don't think we all want to be part of the participation pool right now where you come home and it's not. Because here's my point. Even if I am dying to get the party chat overlay where I can see everybody I'm dying to get that. I don't have that yet.
I have it.
Which is great. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. It is a fantastic, but here's my point. I would rather have my Xbox One work smooth as butter. Okay. When I get home and I want to play, I want to stream, I want to watch Netflix, whatever it is you want to do. I wish that would work smooth. And then I'll just wait for these added perks. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be the first in line to have party chat overlay. And then when I click on YouTube, I'll do a hard reset to start my Xbox, or party chats on the fritz. Or the other day, Timodos, shout out to Timodos. I think Timodos is also here right now. Timodos gave he's in the preview alpha program. And in order for him to play multiplayer and be in the chat, he had to disassociate himself from every club that he's ever joined on Xbox Live. And then he could do it after. So he had to unjoin all the clubs, had to do a hard reset, and then he could participate in party chat. That's just a lot to ask people, right? I mean, this is ridiculous. So, but it is part of what it is. It's part of what it is. You sign up for it. I'm not saying I'm blaming Microsoft. I'm just saying I see a lot of people kind of exiting the preview program, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, it is weird because it does kind of bum you out when you're trying to, we were having a lot of fun playing Black Ops 2. we were doing this game that I'd never played before, where it's everybody against everybody, and you have the crossbow with the explosive bolts, and you only have a certain amount of those. Right. And then you can throw one tomahawk, and if you hit somebody with the tomahawk, whoever had they lose all their kills, right? So maybe you played this game before, and you can also knife people with just your regular knife. So me and Noof, we had this epic confrontation where we both tried to tomahawk each other, we both missed. Then we both tried to use the explosive bolts on each other till we were both out. Then we started trying to run past each other and knife each other. This went on for about a minute and a half, where we couldn't hit each other. And so finally, he finally got me. And it was just like one of those things where it reminded me of the movie where they're out of bullets, so you start throwing your helmet at each other. It was just ridiculously funny. But it's sort of like what happened with me and you in Mortal Kombat, where there was those times where we were just pushing buttons and we couldn't connect on any punches or kicks.
Yeah, nothing was happening. It was almost like we were punching through each other. It was just a lot of wacky shit was going on.
Yeah, it was. So, I mean, people were like, yeah, man, that was a funny thing when you guys were streaming Mortal Kombat. And I was like, yeah, it was pretty funny. And they're like, yeah, but you lost. And I was like, yeah, I lost, but I'm not so sure it was a bad thing that I lost, because next week I got to play Zaire or whatever,
which Zaire is very good. My tenure is probably up next weekend, but
just keep using that same character, man.
I am
with the fucking whatever. I was like, man.
Listen, I got news for you. Somebody in the chat was like, Mooch, tap your 1998 inner child. I was like, whoa, let me get that going. Yeah, right. So you can get back into the rhythm of it. Listen, it's a lot of button mashing, but it is fun. My thing was this: to do it in the fact of doing it like you did, the tournament style was fantastic. Okay, yeah. But the other thing I've been saying to crap all these years is that my point on fighting games is it's a couch. When I say couch co-op, I mean literally on the couch. It's good to play against somebody and then look over and shit talk them right to their face, or maybe even punch them and give them a Charlie horse. My point being is that's the fun of what was when fighting games were what they were back in the arcade, or when they first came out on SNES or Genesis.
Yeah.
And now the whole playing it Craps in Florida, I'm in New York. And it's like, I got you, man. Yeah. I mean, how much shit talking can you do? He's, you know what I mean? He's 13 states south. What can I do? So, my whole point is I think it lost a little luster. That's my take on fighting games. But real good job by Danny Boy to get
good old Danny Boy.
Yeah, he did a great job putting that together.
You guys weren't able to watch the stream last night because the stream didn't happen, but I ended up having to fight this gentleman by the name of Slappin' Lames Maxwell. And we went in there. We did 5 rounds, or we did 6 rounds actually. We were supposed to do 10, but the beam he was doing Twitch stream and it wasn't working properly. And I went in there very cocky and very confident, thinking, okay, I've been playing this game for a while. I've been practicing all day. I think I'll do well.
Right.
So I beat him the first round, and I did pretty well. And then for the next 5 games, he manhandled me. It was like he watched everything I did, and he said, "This guy's a noob. I'm just going to block everything he does." And he used Jason, and I don't know if you know this about Jason, but when you play Jason and you go to do the X-ray move, there's no blocking it. Absolutely, you can't stop it. And he just demolished me 5 games straight, and I just
what
got
character
so discouraged.
Did you use, Jay?
I was playing my man Scorpion, and I thought I was pretty good at Scorpion, but man, I really have to go back and practice a lot more.
Yeah, what was funny was me and Mooch were a few matches in before we even figured out how to block. So we were like, how the hell do you block? Because he kept doing that. Fucking.
We could. Well, yeah, not just that, but you ever see the movie Austin Powers, the first one, when he's got the slow, the pressure, the roller, and the guy's like, no, and he's 10 miles away. Me and Crap had no idea where the block button was. Crap's shooting a fucking ice ball at me from across the screen. Of course I could see it coming, but we didn't know how to block. So I'm locking up and freezing, and it's like, no! And I'm like, come on, man. And I'm asking the chat for some help. I'm like, can somebody please tell me what the actual block is? And nobody was helping. I mean, I think finally we got a couple of things from the peanut gallery, like 2 rounds in after we both looked foolish, but it was hysterical. It really was a good time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And that's what the tournaments are going to bring, I think, to Xbox Live. That is definitely, I think, the idea. Hey, we got Blazing Phoenix out there too, and Xbot and Mel
keep
and
it
Luca.
Xbox.
Keep it Xbox Phoenix.
We miss you, Blazin. There's nobody in the world. Okay, a lot of people give me credit for talking. Let me give you credit. Still, nobody on YouTube that can get on and do an hour and a half rant. He didn't even take a sip of water, people. That's how talented Blazin.
That's why he wears a tank top.
I'm telling you, it does get hot when you're talking that fast. He can talk. That man can talk.
You know what? It is not like, as somebody that does a lot of podcasts, doing one by yourself for any length of time is difficult to do. And not a lot of people can do it. So props to him. And like Livewires is another one who can do that. Live. Yeah. Without any kind of hesitation or any problems whatsoever. I know we've got like voicemails and stuff like that. We're giving away a year of EA access, and I've got some 3-month Xbox Live codes as well. Maybe we'll work something out. The phones are up on Skype. MC Mornings should be able to get through to us today. Hopefully the calls are working. So we do got a lot of cool stuff on tap. I just want to point out that I wanted to get Mooch's take on something that was kind of a hot topic for the past couple of days, where maybe you heard that Phil Spencer said that, those big single player experiences like Horizon Zero Dawn and Zelda aren't like the latest and greatest thing. He said that those are exceedingly rare, and that most games in the industry are like the service type games like GTA, Call of Duties, the Halos, these games where people actively play online and they keep playing them for years and years. Then a couple of sites took what he said and ran with that as Microsoft isn't doing any more single player games, right? Which was kind of ludicrous. And then because he corrected himself on Twitter, he goes, I never said we weren't going to. He's actually a single player gamer. He doesn't play multiplayer. So of course he likes single player, but people of course ran with it and, it's the end. They're not going to do any more single player. Well, you saw some of the fallout on Twitter and stuff. I mean, I don't got to tell you.
Right.
But I guess I kind of wanted your thoughts on that. I mean, he did come out and kind of correct it and say, no, we're still doing single player games. He was just stating from a perspective that these multiplayer type games are the ones that stay on the charts the longest.
Crap. Yeah. We could sum all this up really easily. Okay. We get this entire generation. What do we keep doing without hesitation? And this is everybody. We keep giving Sony credit when nothing has come out, and we keep pointing at Microsoft and just disbelieving them before they do anything wrong. And this is going on time and time again. Anybody who's shaking their head going, no, Mooch, you're wrong this time, just hear me out. When Xbox One games were going to PC, it was the end of the world. It was literally Armageddon. People in gaming were flipping cars over. It was like the last time Detroit won an NBA championship. Okay? Cars were flipping over and cities were lit on fire, right? So this is what I'm saying. Now, all of a sudden, PS4, they're like, what's his face? One of the guys, Andrew House, somebody comes out, Sean Layden, they're like, PS4 games will now be going to PC. And everyone's like, all right, that's cool. All right. Everything's all right. No problem. Everybody's relaxed. Everybody's cool. It's like everybody's on, some sort of like chill pill all of a sudden. But this always happens. So Phil comes out and makes a comment. And listen, his comment makes sense. And it doesn't mean that everybody's going to like anything. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. Even if you like whittle it down to like a policy at your current job and a new policy comes out, okay? Lunch is now going to go for, even if lunch breaks went from half an hour to 45 minutes, there'll still be somebody who complains. You know what I mean? Yeah. Who needs to eat that much? It's not healthy. Whatever. I mean, there's always just ridiculousness. What Phil's saying is that the way the gaming portfolio is unfolding and the way things are looking, they're getting all these raw data numbers in, and they're looking at, and it's not comparing Overwatch, but shout out to Jez Gordon, who said this from Windows Central, that you have to look at Overwatch with 30 million users and it's nonstop usage, okay? And a lot of that is PC, but don't forget Microsoft is PC, PC is Microsoft, okay? Yes. It's the same stuff. Xbox and PC are the same thing. It's Finkel is Einhorn, Einhorn is Finkel, okay? We've got to understand here that that's the way that they're looking at their business model. So when you hear him say this, he has to stand up once a month in front of some people who don't crack grins for a living, and he's got to give them raw numbers and money and figures. And that makes sense. So when he sees that Xbox Live is now up to 52 million active users, he knows he's got an online base here, okay? That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, that's where these all come from. So when people are like, Phil Spencer doesn't like single-player games. First of all, that doesn't make any sense. right? I mean, we know for a fact that he's going to be behind the Halo series. We know for a fact he's going to be behind the Gears series. We know for a fact that Crackdown 3 might have a huge multiplayer audience, but guess what? Isn't and correct me if I'm wrong, Crackdown 1 and 2. You're Crapdown
3,
which is a great T-shirt. But my point being is that like, those are also single player games as well?
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't see where the concern is, Crap.
I don't see it either. I think the concern is that Nice. I think the concern is that every time Sony and has something that Xbox doesn't at that same exact time, people flip out. Yeah. So
shout out to Jez, who's also in the chat, by the way. Jez,
hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us. Good morning, MNC Mornings. How can we help you? Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Moose and Crap? This is Dan from Florida, man. Mooch, nice to have you back. But, I just have two quick questions, kind of not really gaming related, but just wondering why Spotify is not on the Xbox. I have a PS3 and it's just a dedicated Spotify player, but I'm still questioning why Spotify is not on the Xbox, especially with, it running Windows apps. I don't know what's going on with that. And the other thing is, too, I'm looking into smart home devices and stuff, and right now Microsoft don't have a dedicated box to do smart home stuff. And since I'm mainly a Microsoft guy, what do you think if they would use the Xbox to run smart home devices? That's pretty much it. And guys, great show, love it. Let me get back, and you guys have a good day.
Yeah, nice.
I love the home calls. Are great.
Yeah, we had the nice little call in the morning. Well, as far as like the home device thing, I don't know. I think that if Microsoft tried to do anything that crazy, that people might do a little bit of like flipping out or whatever. You know what I mean? Like they've got to stick to the games type stuff. They can't like afford to kind of switch out and do, and do the other stuff. You know what I mean? So I do think that that's going to be something that they're going to have to work on or whatever in the future. What was his other question? It was about.
Well, let me just answer this. The Spotify thing, isn't that just going to be a contractual thing? That's like I said to you guys before. Sony has that, and Microsoft has Pandora.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, I don't know if Sony also has Pandora. I mean, I put the PS4 on for specific exclusives they have, and that's it. So I really don't know if they have Pandora as well. I think that one got the other. It's like I say, if you look at two restaurants that are next door to each other, one usually has, if they sell the same product, one of them will buy a Pepsi, one will be a Coke product. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing here. What they have is they have competing brands that are equally as good. You may like Spotify more. That is completely a you thing, which I understand. There's no criticism there at all. But you're not going to see Microsoft be able to scoop that up because, one picked up one brand, one picked up the other. As far as the second part of his question, Crap, I didn't get that.
Just like a smart house where you can like turn your lights on or whatever, you know what I mean?
Well, that's a lot of stuff that's probably going to come down the line. And I think if you watch Jez on his Windows Central stuff, they kind of dabble in all of that stuff where they kind of get into more stuff that may be coming on UWP in the future, right, Crap? I mean, that's
you know what? I will point out that there are some good music apps on Xbox One. They have a lot thanks to the UWP stuff. But even the Groove Music is pretty good. Most people can get like a 4-month free trial of that. Like I've used that on Forza Horizon 3. It was fantastic. I got my own stuff cranking up there or whatever. So to me, that's fine. But maybe people want something they don't have to pay for, which there's a way to do that. If you have like a PC and a server, you can just like upload your own stuff,
and
like
I think,
OneDrive and stuff.
One thing I do want to keep harping, I do think that the subject of talking about what Phil Spencer's comment, I think that's something we should continue on in between voicemails because it is a hot subject, and I think we got to calm down, right? I mean, isn't it time to calm down? I mean, as a people, as all of us, we got to calm down.
I also want to point out something that we're not taking shots at anybody because people I see that are like, oh well, Rand or whatever. Like, no, nothing against.
No.
Everybody's allowed to have their own opinions and stuff that. The only thing that I was saying is for me personally is he came out and corrected it, and I'm willing to give them the chance.
Yeah, you guys got to understand, crap is the one when Xbox games were going to PC, crap was literally on a ledge. You know what I mean?
I was like, I'm doing it, Mooch. I'm doing it. I'm jumping.
And I was Frank Costanza's lawyer, who just went out there with a cape on and tried to save him from jumping. So you got to understand something. And don't get me wrong, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm just saying, guys, let's just wait and see what happens. That's all I'm saying. This is not any. Listen, anybody that follows me, there's no name calling, no nothing. No. All I'm saying is that I'm tired of it from day one. From day one, it was just all we ever do is the minute Phil does anything, which I'm shocked Phil even comes out and says anything anymore.
He's probably
so he doesn't say anything.
Honestly, like why would you? When every time he said something, people jumped on it and kind of twisted it to their own kind of thing, because I saw the haters running with this, right? Like Phil confirms no more single player narrative.
No more single player games. I mean, say that line 3 times fast if you're a gamer. Okay. It doesn't make any sense. So there's nothing to worry about. Listen, if their direction, if currently they're at 70-30 single player, and then they want to start to go to 60-40 single player, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you'll never even know that as a consumer. You have no idea if they cut back 5, 6, 10%. One game that was going to be single player, now they go multiplayer. You have no idea what their plans are. And the same thing, listen, here's the other thing I want to bring up that everyone needs to understand. When Microsoft did the PC games, it was ridiculous, unfriendly to console gamers, the whole nine. Sony does it, no problem. Microsoft introduces DRM, right, to everybody in 2013. Again, cities on fire, people flipping cars over, okay? Everything's going crazy. Then Sony comes out this mid-generation gap and says, hey, we want you to stream all your content in 4K. That's all DRM. And my whole point being is everyone's okay with it. If Microsoft has the raw data, if they have the raw data that shows multiplayer games, okay, or where people are going, I got news for you guys that are all like, well, I'm going to Sony. Go ahead and enjoy the next 12 months, because that data translates to consoles, period. Yeah. So Sony will follow suit again, because people said the same thing when PC games, right? When Xbox games with the PC, like, well, Sony would never do such a thing. They respect their hardware. No, they don't. They're doing the same thing. This is the same thing that's going on. All Microsoft's doing is doing it first.
Doing it
first. Yeah. So don't get upset. Yeah. Don't think Sony cares about you. We're going to see Uncharted 17. Calm down. Like, I don't get it.
Hey, MNC Mornings, how can we help you? What's up?
What's going on, guys? I have to agree with the last caller, what he said about Microsoft getting into the smart home section. What they could do and what they should do, use the Xbox, use your Kinect, and that can pretty much do everything that Alexa can do, or Google Home. And that would be the easiest way to get into that smart home section. I mean, there's obviously more Xbox Ones out there compared to Alexa or Google Home compared. Then the next thing I wanted to get into, I think Microsoft is in the best position right now, releasing the console 1 year after Sony. So when Sony released their next console, Microsoft, they'll have a console coming out the next year, and they can start talking it up at that point, saying, hey, wait 1 year, we'll be able to beat whatever Sony's putting out. So I think being in this position right here is the best position to be in. They're the second one to go, and they'll always have that advantage. And one last thing, I believe we need to start pushing this whole issue of no one certain that PS5 will be able to play PS4 games. I mean, is that a sure thing? And if not, why aren't we talking about that more? That's all, guys. Love the show. Keep it up. Bye.
That's a great point. I don't like to start on the second question, but I'm just going to say, I just want to make a point that this gentleman just made one hell of a point. One of the best calling questions to date, to be honest with you. And the fact that I do truly believe, if you ask me to, hook me up to a lie detector test, you say, do you think in your honest, like, heart of hearts that PS5 will play PS4 games? My answer would be, of course. Absolutely. However, what I really liked about this gentleman's question was the fact that why isn't there speculation? Because Microsoft comes out and says everything in the world that you have, will have, or currently don't even like will be backwards, forwards compatible, etc., etc. My point being is
even your controllers, everything.
All your accessories, everything will be forward and backwards compatible. We haven't heard anything from Sony on anything like that. And you know what? That's just a good point because the media won't speculate on that. But the media has no problem speculating on something. They'll take Phil's sentence and all of a sudden be like, Phil Spencer doesn't believe in single-player games. Also, Phil Spencer went to Pizza Hut last week. We found out he's lactose. What? Like, where'd that come from? I mean, the poor man, right? This just in, Phil's lactose. News at 11. All right, so it's a great call, by the way. We didn't get to the first part of his question, but that second part,
we'll get back to that. Yeah,
that was stellar. Thanks for the call in.
MNC Mornings, what's up?
Hey, fellas, what's up? Third Griggity here.
Diggity.
I want to thank you guys for being the voices of Xbox crap. I'd like to thank you for the videos you do, all of them, all 18 that you do a day. I listen to every last one of them. I love them. I appreciate it. Now, what I'm about to say, it's not too much different from what Crap was saying last night on PTK and, other Xbox guys, have been saying lately. But is it really okay for Sony to have no multiplayer first-party games?
Right.
But Xbox, their games usually have a campaign. Okay, maybe the campaigns aren't as story-driven as Sony's. But why is it okay for Sony to have no multiplayer games? Well, if you want to talk about Uncharted shitty's multiplayer, nobody talks about that. And like Crap mentioned last night, damn it. She-Wolf's husband, I can think it's freaking name. I'm sorry.
GKB.
Bought
GKV.
Zero Dawn. Yeah. GKB. I'm sorry. Sorry, GKB. I forgot your name. He bought like Zero Dawn, beat it, and took it back to the store. That's what you do with single player games. Who keeps single player games forever unless you're just collecting them? Nobody. It's just crazy to me, man. It's freaking crazy, and the proof is in the pudding. Multiplayer games are the biggest sellers. That 2016 list, who sold the most? What games sold the most? Multiplayer games. Okay, so that's it. But one last thing, I'm from Detroit, Mooch. Your statement was very hurtful to me.
I'm sorry,
but it's all good, man. Thanks, fellas. I'm out.
Yeah, listen. Shout out to Diggity, man. One of the most loyal people we got on the show. Always calls in.
And he got a zinger in on you.
Yeah, he did. I deserve that. That's cool.
Hey, but at least it's not Cleveland, right?
Well, listen. Right. Don't get D all pissed off now. Listen, but here's my thing. Here's my whole thing. So, well, first of all, Diggity, you have a championship before my Knicks. My Knicks haven't done anything, so I shouldn't be talking. But he makes a great point with the single player and the multiplayer games. We play them. It's not to say for 2 or 3 weeks you don't enjoy that experience. It's a fantastic experience, an awesome story. But it really does boil down to, like, Crap, we even talk about it every week when we're like, what do you want to stream? What do you want to stream?
Yeah.
And if when it comes down to it, whenever we see the audience would rather see us play Black Ops 2, a Titanfall, or see us play Gears of War 4 because we're interacting in a multiplayer game, right? And they don't want to see. I was gonna do and I saw that it was already out there. I thought I was genius enough to come up. I was gonna do a Let's Play, and I was gonna play the first hour and stream. I still may do that later today if anybody wants to join me in a Prey stream. But my point being is this. I don't think a lot of people want to sit there and watch me creep around a corner and be like, what the hell is this? Oh, look at that. It's a loot box. I picked up a new shirt. Like, nobody really cares what's going on there. So people want to see action, comedy, the emotions rile up high and down. And Microsoft sees that. That's why their Xbox Live user base is growing hand over fist year to year. So, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, though. That doesn't mean that people have a point with their single-player games. But Crap, and I know I'm long-winded here, but I really want to address this. This is another general consensus out there that I think people need to understand. People who are Sony fans that have an Xbox, they're like, well, I don't really care that Sony doesn't put out a lot of multiplayer games. Yeah. I'll just go to Xbox and play them. Well, why can't people who own an Xbox enjoy their multiplayer games? And then occasionally when a great story comes out on Sony, just go over there. You don't have to, like Salem Witch, Phil Spencer put his head and arms into a trap. And I mean, they're egging and they're stoning and they're tarring, feathering the guy.
You know what's funny is I was on the shop last night with Blam and those people, and one of the points that I made was that the Sony fanboys go, oh, well, the multiplayer games, the third party's really killing those. Sony doesn't even need to come out. Jeez. Sony doesn't even need to come out with multiplayer games because the third parties do. Well, if you look at the Xbox side, can't we say the same thing? Microsoft doesn't need to come out with some of those because how are you going to top The Witcher 3 and things like that? As far as I'm concerned, that Microsoft has done a fantastic job. And
Sony
they
copied Don Matrick's playbook from 360.
Exactly.
Everybody, you're just starting to
it's like in The Waterboy.
Yes, it is. It's just like The Waterboy.
Marketing for dummies. You know what I mean? So, yeah, M&C Mornings. What's up?
Crap.
Yeah.
All right. Maya, good morning. How are you, you bunch of savages and salvajes? Mooch, Crap. Hey, listen, guys, it's good to see you back on. Mooch, is great to have you back. Crap, is good to see you in good spirits. And, back on your element since you have your Robin Quivers back. I love you guys doing your 80s morning dynamic trio. You got Crap over here that he does his Howard Stern saying, America, Microsoft, fuck yeah. And we got Mooch with his Andrew Dice Clay kind of persona saying, if you don't like Microsoft, hey, try wiping your ass with it in the toilet and see how that works out for you. And then we got the despicable and wonderful J Dubs doing his, Bob Ross ordeal saying, the wonderful Xbox One's fine lines and their wonderful console looking so beautifully and elegantly put together. You guys are great. You guys are wonderful, man. Keep up the good job. I hope everything goes well for you guys. I don't really have a question, but I do have something in mind. I just think about what happened yesterday with Phil. I think, the Xbox community has been so spoiled that we just right now that anything that Microsoft does, we try to hold it against them. And we try to act like, we have some type of entitlement issues for a lot of these Xbox gamers now, and it's kind of bad because it's sad because what they're doing for us, they don't have to really do. They're just doing it to keep us happy as gamers and consumers, But I hope that people see it in the long run that all this hard work they put in for us is for a good cause, especially when Scorpio comes out. But we need to really stop doing this entitlement thing because we're starting to look like spoiled PC gamers. Not to bash all of them because they're not all the same way, and that's not really a cool deal. Console gamers are from a different, stem and origin. We're supposed to have a different mentality. So, guys, look, and thank you for your time. It's really nice being able to get through a call for the first time. I didn't find the link for quite some time, but I appreciate you giving me the time to talk to you, and say hello and wish you guys good luck. Keep up the good work. Love you guys, no matter what. So hope to hang out with you guys, rock out soon. Thanks for your time, all right? Peace.
All right. Great.
Awesome to have you butt on it. That was cool. Very cool.
Yeah, nice call in. Thanks. Great to have first-time callers. The phone line's on fire today. I'm glad that we got that stuff up and running, man. That's fantastic. And I agree, we can't get the one of the worst parts sometimes about the whole Xbox thing with the community and when some of the bad stuff happens is we're so hard on ourselves, right? Like we judge Xbox worse than some of the PlayStation or even PC fans,
right?
And as far as I'm concerned, that's bad. Like you've said that before too, right, Mooch? Like it's not even the PS4 dudes that are hard on it; it's the Xbox dudes are like so hard on it, and you never see the PS4 dudes that hard on the PS4.
No, everything dudes. They back up their own stuff, and they, what I mean? And that's fine. That's just fine. I'm just saying, like, it amazes me how much the Xbox guys are so hard on ourselves. And it's like, let's sit back. What I've always said is this: you don't want this in certain cases in your life, but in this one you do. Like, sit back and wait for actually something bad to happen before you claim it's bad. I mean, everybody's L. Ron Hubbard now. It's like everybody's got to calm down. I mean, I don't understand why. Why are we all predicting? We're all Nostradamus. So everybody's predicting that it's going to be awful because someone said a sentence. Like, let's just see what happens. It could be. Maybe you're right. Maybe this will be awful. It will be awful. Guess what? If it's awful, just like in 2013, Phil will right the ship immediately because he's going to see zero in sales or he's going to have a big issue.
I want to point out a couple things real quick. Jez Gordon, good friend of the show and everything and of us. He made a tweet yesterday, and he's kind of mocking this a little bit. He's like, quotations, OMG, I can't believe Phil Spencer said single-player games are losing audience to multiplayer titles. And then underneath that, he says Overwatch is now at 30 million players. So, I mean, boom, boom, boom. there you have it. Overwatch is at 30 million players. You look at the top 20 games of last year. It's Call of Duty. It's Minecraft. It's GTA 5. These games with these online multiplayer experiences. Look, when we see the top 10s each month or top 20s each month on the NPD, right? The ones that are in there all the time are the Call of Duties, the Battlefields, the Minecrafts, right? It's these games, the multiplayer-focused games. Now, that's not saying that a Horizon Zero Dawn, when it releases, won't be in there a month. Right. But then guess what? Completely goes away after that. You know what I mean? And then when you look at the top 20 for the year, it's not going to be found in there. You know, it's going to be all the ones that I just mentioned. It's going to be the multiplayer. It's not going to be the single player. And I also want to point out something that I did on the shop last night as well, which was what Phil Spencer said in an interview. And people should take this to heart. I'm going to read this. This is straight from Phil Spencer. Right now, the focus is really on the content that we're building. I know I get some community pushback on our first-party slate and what position we're in, and I want to say to people that the same level of commitment you felt from myself and from the team as we've evolved platform over the last 3 years, as we've evolved service over the last 3 years, as we've evolved in innovative hardware over the last 3 years, that same is going on with our first party. I don't want to go and pre-announce a bunch of things, but we are upping our investment. There is no doubt about that. So the improvements that we're seeing with the platform, the console, everything over the last 3 years since he's taken over, the first party's doing that too. It just takes time. It takes time to create games.
Right.
Like, people need to give them the benefit of the doubt, in my opinion.
It does take a lot of time. And I mean, we keep saying that since Phil mentioned it one time, like 3 years, when 3 years goes by, that's his game cycle. Like that's when Phil expects his game to come out, when he's been in charge of it. And that's true, but sometimes it takes a little bit of time. And they also have to take this data that they've generated, because this is a whole new era. We talk about this all the time. This is the era of when online is really on, like, everybody's online. Everybody. There's a reason. People think Microsoft are just boosting the 52 million because they're losing in hardware sales. They're making money on the online too. I mean, they're making between 40 and 60 bucks a year on those. What is it? Out of the 52 million, how many do you think are Xbox Live Gold members?
I would probably say over 40 million, something like that. Because I think they were at like
36. I remember.
Point, at some point. So I wouldn't think it beyond expectation of
Guys,
reason.
do the math, everybody. Just take 40 million, multiply it by the lowest common denominator. Let's not go by the 60 bucks. Let's say everyone waits till it's on sale at 39. Do it by 40 bucks and see. Yeah. So it is what it is.
Yeah, it is. It's always great to hear the feedback. Phone line's on fire today, man. Absolutely great. MNC Mornings. Hello.
Hey, Mooch, hey, Crap. It's Jav Go from Twitter. I go back and forth with you guys all the time on Twitter whenever I'm not busy with work and stuff. I'll try to make this as fast as possible. Okay, Crap. Mostly, this is for you. Mostly, I think some of the problems that Phil Spencer is having is with Xbox fans. That's just, they're not crazy about, I wouldn't say the direction that the company's going, but all the changes. And all these changes, they've happened so fast. Not that they're bad. The Scorpio is great. We're all waiting for the power and all that. That's been cool, okay? But for the longest time, we've also felt like, it's not just about us as Xbox guys anymore. Like, they're doing their PC thing and all that. And, I'll just be as upfront as possible with you. I have a lot of friends that are like me that are on Xbox Live, and they say the same thing to me all the time. Bro, I'm just not a Phil Spencer guy. It doesn't mean that they don't like him. It doesn't mean that the direction is bothering them. It's just, they're just not Phil Spencer guy. Sometimes you could have your favorite sports team, and the guy who's in charge, you're old school. You're like the dudes before him. You know what I mean? Not saying that Donnie Metric did the most amazing job or anything, because no, we wouldn't be here, in the position that we're in right now if it wasn't for Don. But I think some people they're waiting to regain that faith that they had. You know what I mean? And like me, I'm still waiting for Phil to show me. You understand? There's been a lot of great stuff that he's done, but I'm still waiting for him to show me. Like, I don't just want a Scorpio to be powerful and all that. I'm waiting for him to show me, where are your games, where are your amazing things. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's where all the craziness is, where people are just like, they're freaking out by every little thing he says, because people are still not sure of all the things, that they've promised. So that's it. I know this is really long, but there you go.
Yeah, actually, to be honest with you, that gentleman made a hell of a point too, Crap.
Yeah.
I mean, there is something to that. Like, listen to what he said. His example was your favorite sports team, right? And like, there's been times where, like, I mean, I'm a New York Giants fan, okay, just for example. Or if you want to actually pick on the New York Mets right now, I'm not a huge Terry Collins fan. Okay, now there's a lot of people that are Mets fans that are like, you're crazy. Terry Collins has actually got he's got his pulse on the team and this and that. And I'm like, I don't really think so. I think he's too soft in the clubhouse. I mean, people have seen Phil come in, 3 years ago. He's done a lot of great things. He righted the ship as far as fixing the things that were wrong, but we're kind of past that now, right? So now people are like, okay, so what are you producing besides this mega piece of hardware? And the concern is we've seen Fable Legends close in Lionhead, and then we saw that game be canceled, like that studio closed. We saw what happened with Platinum Games go down. We've seen a couple other things that just kind of aren't really coming to fruition. And I really do think E3 is a show me the money. It's a show me the money for a lot of Xbox fans. I mean, that is fair. That's fair. I don't have a problem with that. My only issue was just like whenever Phil Spencer says anything like we're coming out with a 4K system, people are like, do I have to buy a 4K TV now? No. That's like, I mean, that's like if you were like, I'm gonna go get Five Guys, Shake Shack, or I'm gonna go get an In-N-Out burger. I'm like, well, you better have a treadmill at home. I mean, what? It's like, because he says he's giving you 4K doesn't mean you have to go and spend money. You're still in charge of your own life. I just don't like how people kind of nitpick on his every word. This caller made a good point because I'm semi in that camp where I'm like, okay, I am totally doing the Jerry Maguire. I'm like, show me the money, Phil. Because we have been waiting 3 years now. You should have an IP coming. That's your baby. That's your new fingerprint, your carbon footprint on this thing. That's going to be around for the next decade. So I'm with you on that. And I want to say thanks to the caller. That was a hell of a point.
Yeah. I don't know, like just seeing like Phil is really active on Twitter right now, even.
He's tweeting right now.
Yeah, because like and the funny thing is he's responding to these obvious trolls, you know what I mean? Because he came out and was saying how the industry is. And then he's like, no, I played Zelda on the whole ride over to the UK or whatever. It's great. Horizon Zero Dawn's great, whatever. I just think that maybe those aren't the people that he should be interacting with. I don't know. That's a little bit crazy to me. But J-Dubs, I know we got somebody on deck and we're way behind.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten onto voicemail, so we're an hour in.
Yeah, so we've got Luca on deck.
Second floor, Luca.
Hey Mooch Crap, J-Dubs, Luca here. Just, this is a different call than usual. I'm actually calling to ask for some advice. So, I've recently gotten into the podcasting game, and I find it a lot of fun. However, I would like to ask, how do you deal with people misinterpreting what you say on the show in the chat? Like, do you address it? Do you just ignore them? Do you let it go? Like, I'm just curious as to what you do. Because sometimes it's really annoying and it makes me want to avoid the chat. But at the same time, I like talking to people in the community. So what do you guys think? All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Everybody uses the bye from Foxfire. So yeah,
I think let me address it first.
That was a good question.
It was a great question. Luca, the thing is this. I kind of do a 50-50. A lot of times people are always like, hey, Mooch, I wrote to you in the chat and you didn't say hi, or I was looking for a response. I'm not really always paying attention to the chat. Listen, I come on the show or any show to do two things. Speak my mind and to provide some entertainment for everybody. And I'm trying to pay attention. I usually have notes, especially on this show where we have Jay like all set up and ready for different skits or different things we're going to be doing, especially as we get going. God, we even had a meeting before today's show to discuss some of the stuff that's coming. Like, we have a lot of stuff coming. It's just, there's a lot of work that goes into podcasting, I think. So I don't always get to the chat. You do have to remember something. The chat is like the mall. Okay. It's like the mall. And as you get older, you'll understand this. As you're walking on the second floor, no pun intended for Luca. As you're walking on the second floor of the mall and someone's like, Luca, and you look down and you're like, oh shit, that's somebody I kind of remember from high school. Who the hell knows? You wave. Yeah. It's kind of like you don't run down the stairs, right? And hurry up and like push 3 people over in the emergency lane to go over and shake that person's hand. You're actually in the mall to do a job, a duty, a function. As you get older, the mall isn't a hangout section. It's like, I got to go to the mall. I got to pick this up, pick that up. I got to get the hell out of here. So when you're doing 3-4 podcasts a week and you're talking about a subject, the people who have the podcast have asked you to like narrow down and discuss these different topics. Okay. And you're trying to make sense of what you're doing. Plus, if you try to have a podcast like this one or a show like this where you're trying to provide some entertainment, there's also timing that's involved. I don't always get to the chat, so it's one of those things. So don't always feel like you have to be like split in half and you're doing half the podcast and half the chat. I mean, if you want to worry about a chat and that's really your concern, get on like Reddit or get on forums where you can just type your life away. Yeah. I get on this because I feel like I prefer to speak than write. So that's why I really genuinely enjoy these types of shows.
I used to write. I was actually writing for gaming articles for a couple sites back at the before the beginning of this generation. And then it got so toxic where I was like, it's much easier just to talk about this stuff. Right. But the main thing is like, what people have to understand is, especially in the chats and stuff, like even what I do, I can't always look at the chat because I'm looking at what we're doing, at some topics. You know what I mean? It's like you're always trying to scan it and see different things. But the main thing is, if people don't like you, they're going to find a reason to misinterpret what you say, no matter what it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I know better than most. Like it doesn't take much for someone who doesn't like you or for whatever reason, just because you like a different piece of plastic or whatever, to invent stuff. Like I've had that happen to me before where people just will invent stuff. And because other people don't like me, they'll run with it. You know what I mean? Like that's just going to be, as far as the way I do it, I don't really talk about, like it's not, if I sit there, I always think that when people go, if you get accused of something, you go, I'm not that, and you make a big deal out of it, that you almost are that. You know what I mean? Like for me,
right.
I don't do that, because I know that I'm not that. You know what I mean? And if I had to make a big deal out of not being that, then it's probably because I was hiding something. You know what I mean? So it's like me, I just let shit go. Not a big deal either way. Glad the phone lines are on fire today anyway. But M&C Mornings, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, Mooch and Crab? How you doing? This is Sneaky Memo. I just want to tell you I love your show. I've been watching you guys since you started the podcast. I have one quick question. I'm a digital buyer. I buy all my games digital. My question is, do you think Microsoft will ever have a resell on my digital copy games back to them for some amount of percentage to get something back in return? Love your show. Please respond back and let me know. I'll be waiting. Thanks.
Yeah, that's that return that I believe Microsoft sent a poll out on email to see if people were actually interested in that. Right, Crap? We were talking about that with Rand, I believe, on Xbox Nation a few weeks back. That's a hell of a program. I think that, people will sit there and say, wait a minute, I paid $60 for a game and you're going to give me back $6 or $4.50. That sounds absurd. It really does. First of all, GameStop's made a business model off of that. Number two, there's just, listen, hard drive space, as much as we like to pretend everything is just in the cloud and out of your way, it still eats up something, okay? It's either taking up some room on your cloud, it's taking some room up on your hard drive, your external, whatever. My point is this, okay? And everybody knows my rant. I won't go too hard on this because Bam just woke up and we don't want to upset him. But, like there's the game like The Division. Which
already with the Division hate.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? I would take an M&C Mornings mug for that trade-in. I would take anything I could possibly get my hands on.
That's $15.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. That's true. We're worth more than The Division, actually.
Yeah.
And so it just goes to show everybody my point. But, I mean, that there's just games that you're not going to go back to. There's just games you're not going to go back to. I'm trying to think of something right now. Nothing actually comes to mind. But I mean, some people may have said, even let's pick a beloved game like Ori or something. You said, I've beaten Ori 2 times now, and I picked up the definitive edition. Okay, because if you had the original, you picked up the definitive edition for whatever. It was like a $5 pickup. Maybe they're going to give you $2 for your old, because now I have 2 of them, right? I have the original Ori and I have the definitive edition. I might want to get rid of the original one. Right. So what? They give you $250 back and you get $250 here, $350 there. Maybe you beat Inside. You're done with Inside. You get another $2. Right. You beat Hyper Light Drifter and you probably got 15 cents back. But my point being is you take all these things, you add them up, and then you can get another indie game, another $10 game. I'd like to say you could buy Shovel Knight, but it's still $20. So you can't buy that. Okay. But, it is what it is. I think that anything that and you're the consumer, you're in charge. It's your product. Okay. You bought that digital space. If you want to trade it in for $4 or $5, good for you. If you don't, Good for you. So, I mean, it's up to you. I just think it's a great option.
Yeah, I think it's a great option as well. I want to do another voicemail because I know we've got somebody on deck who actually got to play within game night last night. Yeah, go ahead and roll that, J-Dubs.
Crap. I was just wondering, what third-party game are you guys most excited for that's come out this holiday? A couple are the new Call of Duty, Battlefront 2, Red Dead. What else? Oh, and I think you guys both have Switches, so how about Super Mario Odyssey? Okay. Great work.
That's great. It's like getting a call from a Fraggle. Isn't that great?
Yeah, it is. I love when Space Cat calls in.
Love Space Cat.
Yeah. You know what? I actually just got my Switch like 2 days ago.
What do you think?
I like it. I like it a lot.
It's neat, man. It's neat. It's not, I'm not going to put it up there with the Xbox and the PS4. It's just, it's its own, it's the unconsole. It's the uncola.
Yeah. You know what? I think it's a lot of fun. I have Mario Kart for it. I think that it's pretty damn awesome. I'm not going to lie. I just, and I tell people, I'm like, you know what? It's impressed me with just how different it is and kind of inventive and clean. You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think it's great. I mean, there's not a ton of games out for it now. But I think that they're on to something. Right. Like this thing's going to be big.
No, I totally agree. I want to answer Space Cat. I'm glad Space Cat actually brought that up. I was going to bring it up as a topic. Crap, man. I'm really going to get tarred and feathered from you for this. I am so looking forward to Destiny 2. It's kind of I'm fan gaming out. I know. Sorry about that. It's just, listen. You know what I miss about it? See, right now, if you're hopping on Destiny here or there, it's a little bit of a sparse crowd. I mean, the game's 3 and change year old. It's old game, and you got only the diehards out there. But I really miss the user base that was out there and everybody kind of meeting up and everyone. I mean, there's, like I said, I got 3 or 4 people that I happen to work with that are big into Destiny, and like they still talk about what they're doing in Destiny, but it's completely mellowed out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like can't wait to get back into the Destiny world. So I guess, Space Cat, to answer your question, I would say I'm most anticipating and looking forward to, on a multiplayer third-party game, I'm looking forward to Destiny 2 probably the most out of the big 4.
You know, it'll be interesting because, like, when the first Destiny come out, like, me and you weren't, like, regular gaming together and stuff. So I'm going to get Destiny 2. So maybe, like, with the fact that you'll be gaming on it a lot, and I'll have some, you know what I mean, someone to play with that as well. It'll be different. Like, I never really had anybody to really so much play the first one with, and by the time I got around to getting like all the DLC and stuff, everybody was already like 500 light level with boots and whatever. Yeah. My guy's running around in his underwear. I don't know. So it's like,
you got to do a quick shout out to Def Jam Bam, who says, "Oh boy, Destiny 2 talk. Time for more sleep." What we could talk about is the second enemy in the division that required 75,000 bullets. Talk about, hey, Microsoft controller team, if you're listening, could you put one of those rapid fire buttons on and just on the RT trigger so I can get back in the division? That way I can just put my controller down and have an auto blast.
You know what? We do have a new sponsor this week, and people were really thrilled with our sponsor last week. So I think we have a brand new sponsor this week, right, J-Dubs? And yes, we're happy to kind of to show this to you guys. So go ahead and run our new sponsor and let us know what you guys think.
We here at Sony are constantly looking for ways to stay afloat, whether it be selling off office buildings, closing down entire divisions, or loaning our superhero characters to much more talented movie studios so they can actually make good movies with them. So naturally, when we learned that Roaches love the PS4, we thought of a way to capitalize and cash in on this. Introducing the PS4 Roach Coach. I know what you're thinking. Isn't this just a regular PS4? And no, idiot, you'd be wrong. This is the PS4 Pro. We needed something that could put off enough heat to fry roaches completely. Setup is easy and simple. Plug your PS4 Roach Coach in, set it on your entertainment center, turn it on, and voila! Roaches are instantly attracted to the PS4 due to the large fence. Roaches check in, but they don't check out. Pick yours up today for the low price of $399.99. There's only one Roach Coach, made by Sony.
What a great sponsor. Isn't that fantastic? It's amazing.
That is that's an amazing
the support
sponsor.
we're getting.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to absolutely love the ingenuity of Sony to actually put that out. And I love the fact that it's $3.99 and 99 cents. Right?
Yes.
Like,
yes. Use that was the old Mattel. That was great. Listen, I got news. I don't know if I like better the dead roach that's in between the first layer cake stack on the Sony PS4 Pro or the one that's on fire running off the screen.
Yeah.
It
so
just
I mean,
gets better and better.
That is good that you know that they're going to put that out, and not only that, but they're selling it at such a price. I mean, how could you not want to get that? You know, if you got roaches.
Yeah,
up, and you're not going to have roaches any longer, man. The
cheaper
PS4
than any
roach
exterminator you're ever going to have to get that routinely comes to your house. Those are $100 visits, folks, twice a year. Okay? 2 years, you get your money back with one PS4 Pro.
Damn right.
It's just when that article came out, boy, somebody had to capitalize on that quickly. Yeah, so so good.
Oh, you know what? I want to read off some of the Patreons.
Yes, please.
Real quick before we get too further in. These are the people that support us on Patreon. If you guys want to, the link is down below. We're going to be giving out a game when we come back for the raffle or whatever. All you need to do is be a $1 supporter for that. But there's other tiers as well. Like the $20 tier gets you like the private podcast and stuff like that, which we're going to be doing that sometime this week. It'll probably be me and Mooch. We'll talk more about it later, and we link that stuff in there. So shout out to Alex H, Lethal Papa, Longshot 316, Mark D, Jackal, Justin B, Max S, G-Man 209, Delilah HD and her Cleveland teams, Robert B, John S, Snoopy, ooh-wee, Silent Bob, the Doug crew, including our good friend Stick Figure, and of course Adrian A. Thank you guys for all the support and everything you guys have done on Patreon. We continue to grow, and it'll continue to help us get better performance. As you guys may have noticed, the show's going pretty good. We're gonna have new equipment. The voicemails, the quality with the Skype calls and things like that. All that stuff is doing fantastic. So that's all.
Well, to put it in terms of Xbox history crap, right now all we've been doing is giving Jay updated SDKs. We'll have the new hardware's coming soon, and then things will just really start to show tremendous promise. Right. All we've been giving Jay is SDKs. It was like the first year that Xbox One came out. We're like, don't worry, the new SDK's out. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine.
Hey, while I was peddling DX12 as well, hey, buddy, look what I got here under this trench coat. I got some DX12.
I got some DX12, but you got to meet me over here.
Yeah, you got to meet me over here in this alley. Yeah. So also, just so you guys know, we run the top 10 when you hit a certain amount of likes. So you might want to start hitting the like button because I usually hold the top 10 hostage. Just saying.
Hold the ransom.
Guys, yes. I just want to say that better SDKs than STDs.
Oh, wow. Wow.
J-Dubs with a Noof type parameter.
No
right
chills there. From
yes.
You've been hanging out with Noof too long.
Yeah. His fellow Canadian. So who do we got on deck there, J-Dubs?
We have a new caller. His name is PTHF Ryder.
Nice.
Okay.
Very cool.
We'll just call him Ryder.
Yeah.
Hi guys, I got to know your giveaway raffle at your Twitter page and would like to take part of it. My question to you is, what's your actual favorite video game, and on what system you are playing right now? Kind regards from Germany. So hopefully in winning the EA access for 1 year, that would be nice, and also a lot appreciated. Take care. Bye bye.
All right. It's always good to get voicemails and callers and stuff from all over the world. Like there's one.
It's amazing.
That is pretty amazing to me. Like fantastic. Was he asking what's our favorite game we're playing right now?
Was it? I didn't know if it was it first. I thought it was favorite game you're playing third party. Was it third party multi? I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't understand. I figured he was just asking what is your favorite game and on what console right now.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Right now, shoot. The one that I'm playing Mass Effect right now, obviously on Xbox One, which is pretty good. So if I had to say right now which one it would be, it would probably be that. But there's a lot of really good games out right now. So
there really is. I mean, I mean, my hate to be so boring, folks, but I mean, I'm going through 3 different games. I'm almost done with the second. I'm still playing BioShock Collection on Xbox One, but like I say, I'm pretty much going to be wrapping up BioShock 2 now. That'll be done. Took me, with the schedule I have, took me about 2 weeks to get through that game, and then I will, depending on how this next hour goes today. I planned on playing it Friday, but we had the Mortal Kombat tournament. Then we had our Mooch and Crab stream afterwards, and yesterday was just too hectic. I really want to try Prey. If Prey is anywhere what I've seen and what I think it's going to be, and I asked Jez to give me I asked him 3 quick questions on Twitter, and he answered me with 3 quick words. The way he answered it was, it sounds like I'll be buying Prey on Friday, and then I'll be playing that game on Xbox One.
Yeah, for me, I've heard mixed things. I heard from She-Wolf that it was horrible, but she also thought that Mass Effect was horrible, and I think that it's really good. So,
well, what did she say she didn't like about it?
She just said it was boring.
Interesting. I from what I see, it looks like it's got. People are saying it's like Deus Ex and BioShock had a kid.
Yeah, like Deus Ex is absolutely horrible, and I know that's going to tick off Jamie Moran, but that game should not be in first person. If it was third person, it maybe would be a little bit better, but the first person aspect of that game, oh my God, just absolutely horrible. Oh, you know what game I was playing yesterday? I bought the season pass when I was on sale for Dead Rising 4 when it was like $10 or something. And you actually play it. I don't know if you beat the game yet, but you actually get to play as Frank West Zombie, and that's pretty interesting.
Oh, you play a little Dead Rising. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Dead Rising 4. Yeah,
yes.
That's
I got to get back to it. I was really into it. I got to be honest with you.
So around Christmas time.
Well, yeah, the pro and con, right?
Yeah.
Like the pro was around Christmas. I didn't want to play anything but it because it was just so in the holiday spirit.
Yeah.
And the con right now is just, it's not Christmas. So I feel like I'm playing something. It's almost like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of great Christmas movies, right? I love National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, but I'm not usually warming up to it in July. Like it's just a movie I like to watch from Thanksgiving's end till around, New Year's. And that's the same thing with this. They did such a Christmassy theme. It's kind of hard for me to kind of get in. There's a lot of people that feel that way. You know what I mean? They put you in that mood. Someone said to me last year, hey, Mooch, do you think they're going to have updates come out for Dead Rising 4 that continue? So every year there's maybe a $20 DLC that keeps the Christmas thing going. I thought that was genius. I thought that was absolutely genius because that's almost a locked-in $20 from everybody that bought it and may even get them to buy the original game. I think that's a hell of an idea. Keep it as a Christmas-themed game. So every year you're like, well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking forward to actually seeing what goes on in Dead Rising with this year's DLC of Christmas.
Yeah, like I think that it'll be fun. I like the idea. And yeah, it is one of those situations where it is very Christmassy, like people are running around as gingerbread men and stuff like that.
Yeah, so, like I said, it's hard when you're just looking now, especially in New York, everything's budding, the trees are growing, leaves, everything's coming back again, and it's like all of a sudden the snow and the reindeer thing's lost its effect. Doesn't mean you shouldn't pop it in and play it if you like it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I was just wanting to try it. It was spitting out some decent achievements, some early achievements and things like that. So I was like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's definitely awesome and something that I kind of wanted to expand on a bit.
Question. That was a good question. I appreciate that. Kind of getting us to see what we're playing right now. Brown Hyena, whatever. It says, Mooch, if you like BioShock, you'll love it. That's what people are telling me. They're like, if you like BioShock, I believe what they mean by that is it's not like Rapture or you're down in that whole story or it's not the 1950s theme. It's not that at all. But I think they really think the mechanics are probably very similar between the two games.
Yeah, definitely could be. We've got, well, according to J-Dubs, Jeff Jam Bam on deck.
Oh, yeah, we have Jeff Jam Bam.
Yeah, is he related to Def Jam Bam by any chance, J-Dubs?
He's his brother that was born 3 months early.
Oh, okay.
God.
3 months.
3 months early. Okay. Let's roll it.
What's up, Mooch and Crap? J-Dubs. How y'all doing today? Quick question for y'all. If there was one thing at Xbox that you would want to change, it could be anything, what would it be? And also my other question is, at E3, basically we already know Sony pretty much got the marketing rights for the big games that's coming out at the end of the year. Now, when it comes to E3, how can Microsoft show that their platform is going to have the better version of the multiplats? How do you think they would pull that off? And everybody in the chat listening in, if Scorpio's a day one buy for you, hit that one. And also hit that one if you're glad You're listening to Mooch and Crack in M&C Mornings with J Dubs again. Just hit that one. Everything on track. Peace.
Well, as far as what they're going to show off, I think that we're going to do that for them. I think that was their idea. You know, like we're going to get to play Battlefront 2 ahead of everybody else. We're going to be playing a beta of the new Call of Duty. There's going to be Scorpio footage of these games up. We're all going to be able to do this. You know what I mean? Like we're the ones, the word of mouth, when people see how great these games look on Scorpio, it's going to be huge. And I think that we can't take that too lightly. You know what I mean? Like you can just tell from interviews with Phil Spencer that they are totally going after the people that are influencers, the YouTubers, the streamers. That's why this thing does 4K and 60 for capture and streaming, because they're going after that. They want he said it flat out. This is the best console to play third-party games. Flat out said it.
Yeah.
And by the way, when we get to 250 likes, we will play the top 10. I guarantee it. So yeah, absolutely. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, Bam asked what would we want changed, and I mean, this is but the thing I'm
baseball
like,
game.
Nah. I think more along the lines of like things we use on a day-to-day basis. The one thing I would still like to see is they really, and Crap, you made a point to bring it up. I think you brought it up on a podcast this week. You also brought it up on Twitter. Microsoft needs to have a better screenshot and getting video to social media. It's just a nightmare. Like I'm playing the other day, it's still, I don't understand, you just push the one button, but it's two buttons. It really, I can't believe this, because I thought when you go back to 2012, 2013, they showed the controller and stuff on PS4, and they had a share button. I thought that was a little crazy to dedicate a piece of hardware to a picture, but we didn't realize
the Switch has one too.
Right, yeah. Well, the Switch, but I'm not giving Switch any credit, because in this case, Nintendo saw how great it was for Sony. Yeah. It just, you push it, it locks in that view, and then you have an immediate boom right to Twitter. And with Xbox, it's just too many steps. So, you know, but this is the same thing that Microsoft has a hard time with, even with their phones. Crap, we were talking about this the other day, right? You know, I mean, whether you're an Apple fan or not, Apple's got everything down to one button. And Microsoft Windows Phone has like, you know, like you have 85 different ways of getting back to home. And it's like, we don't need that. You know, Apple last year, right? Wasn't it last year? They took the headphone jack out, and they're like, courage. And everyone, of course, busted their balls, which I understand that, right? But it was courage, because everybody else is scared to do it.
You know,
and they're like, you don't need it.
You know who uses that line all the time is fucking Next Gen. He's like, yeah, just take this thing away and just force it on people. I'm like, yeah, that's not probably going to work out too well.
You know, sometimes it's better. I mean, listen, when we all went to school, could you imagine if you polled all the third graders when we were all in third grade? Hey, what do you guys want to do? You guys want to learn some history, mathematics, long division, multiplication, or go to recess? What do you think people are voting on? Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have to sometimes you have to kind of force feed. You know, there's a lot of people that still like the McArch Deluxe at McDonald's, but McDonald's pulled it, okay? Because it wasn't doing well. Yeah, 10, 15 people the next day were pissed at your local McDonald's. McDonald's was like, well, screw it, we're not making it. So, I mean, sometimes you got to understand that, like, so Microsoft's got to stop giving everybody 75 options to get back to start.
Yeah.
You know, let's just get real here. Sony came out, they put a hardware button on there. It could have blown up in their face. It worked. Share, bang, done. Nintendo, you can see it works, Crap, because what? 3 years later, Nintendo puts it on the Switch. It works. And it's become a huge, listen, if people are taking pictures of a half-eaten steak they ate at dinner and putting it on Twitter, people probably want to hit an awesome picture up during a game where you got your buddy like, you know, beat up and pinned down, or you're like you in a fighter game, or like an amazing graphic that took place, or an achievement you did. And I know Mike Ibarra said they're working on it, but like, you know, where is it? You know, like,
well, yeah, they're working on it to where it's going to be able to be like a one button thing and get it on Twitter without having to go to an offsite thing, which is what really
Can I
sucks.
make one more recommendation, Crap? Sidestep from the picture in picture. I want to, well, picture in picture. I shouldn't have said that. I also want that. But can we go back to start and select on the controller too?
I was just talking about that last night. I was like, yeah,
please go back to start and select.
I was like, because we were playing, you know, Black Ops 2. So when you're in that menu, you have to do start select to bring up the 360 menu. I was like, yeah, so you got to hit start select or whatever the hell those things are now. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, crap. All you got to do is hit the picture-in-picture window and then scroll over. And when you scroll over, hit the 3 lines. What? What happened? Who the hell is on peyote? Hey,
Panama Red, man. Like that's crazy.
I would fire that person. Like the minute if I was in a boardroom and I'm sitting there and they're like, "Here's our new start and select," and I was like, "Who is this person and what does he do here?
Who's your daddy and what does he do?"
Yeah. You know, I mean, like, so it's ridiculous.
I agree 100%. J Dubs, roll us another a voicemail, will you?
Hello, everybody. I thought did you miss me? This is Yoshita. Glad to be here today. God dang it, Sean Murray. Hold on, I gotta smack the crap out of Sean Murray. Jeez, he's trying to hump my leg. He's pretty excited. He wants me to tell Mooch and Crap and Jay Williams that we have won Xbox Fan Fest tickets. Because we're not really fans, we just want to go on a trip or something together. Actually, everyone at Sony Studios won a free FanFest ticket. We're so excited. We're gonna crash the party. But anyway, Yoshita wanted to know what you thought about E316 with my Sony Orchestra and any songs you guys have requested for 2017 E3 with my Sony Orchestra. They play good music, especially the hot violinist. She has the hots for you, Yoshita. Okay, goodbye everybody and people in chat.
You're listening to M&C in the Mornings. As always, remember, you can't take anything they say seriously. It's just jokes. Jokes performed by YouTube professionals, and usually the joke's on them.
Nice drop. Also great to have the all-powerful Yoshida back on the show. That was great.
What game would we like to see with the orchestra? I would love to see Knack 2 or you know, something along those lines with an orchestra. Imagine that. Like that would be absolutely Megaton, right?
Yeah, Megatron. No, so it's gonna come out one day.
I
know. It's just ridiculous. No, that was great. That was great. A lot of fun hearing from. I don't even know if Yoshida actually had a question. I think it was more of a statement.
Yeah, well, he asked what game what game do we think would be good to show up at E3 for their orchestra. So yeah, that's why I said Knack 2. Brilliant game.
Brilliant.
Megaton. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with you on that one. Phil Spencer, actually, a little late breaking news. I think Phil just tweeted out. Did you see Phil's tweets recently? Crap, just the past few minutes?
I saw it where he's like, maybe I'll wear a Horizon Zero Dawn shirt. I swear to God, if he wears a Horizon Zero Dawn shirt, I will be the first one doing a video.
That would be hysterical. Let's just be honest. Number two, I think, well, I don't know if this was, this was recently. He just said Phil Spencer came out and said, we are not ditching single player games. I think that was his way of getting everybody to take like some sort of an antacid
to
pill
calm
and
the hell down.
Just relax, everybody.
Yep. And we are 1 like away from our top 10 list.
Hey, you know, while everyone's kind of doing that, which it'll probably jump right over, I want to shout out to Stick Figure, right? So I got a chance to actually play some Gears with him the other day. It was awesome hanging out with Stick Figure from Down Under. And it was definitely cool, man. It was great to hang out with him. That was a great stream we had.
We actually lost a like.
Yeah, we lost. Somebody lost. So, you actually went down one. That's great.
That is like you guys just don't want a top 10 this week.
That's so great. There we go. You're back over. No, really funny. Look, you gotta love it when the chat trolls, right?
Yeah.
That should be a new podcast. Anybody wants to chat trolls? Thursdays at 6. Yeah, so I don't know.
Stick is a good guy, man. Like we had a good time streaming some of that Gears and stuff too.
Gears just doesn't get old for me, man. I guess I'm not gonna sit here and classify myself as a gearhead because the gearheads are serious. I mean, you're one of them. Crap, you got a tattoo for crying out loud. I mean, never going that far, but nonetheless, I like the game. I think it's fun. I think anytime somebody says, Mooch, we're playing some Gears, shout out to Sub-Zero, who's always hitting me up. Like he knows that's That's how you always get me to get into a multiplayer game. I'm definitely going to play some Gears 4 multiplayer.
Yeah, it was so funny because Delirium, who switches over and plays on PC.
Yeah,
your reaction to that was the same as mine, where we were just like, yeah, that keyboard and mouse, and he's like, no, man, I'm playing with an Elite controller, bro. You know what I mean? Like you and me both like gave him shit for that. Yeah.
Get off the PC. No, I'm like, get in here. Let's play some Xbox One. Crap, you're well over, and the chat's getting rowdy for a top 10.
Yes, we got a top 10. It's a fantastic top 10. At least I think it is.
It's good.
Yeah, let's hear it. Hey everybody, welcome to the top 10 things Sony's thinking in reaction to the Xbox Scorpio reveal at E3. Hopefully you guys enjoy it.
Number 10. In Sony's attempt to scare their employees pre-E3, Sony is thinking of releasing a short video on how they shared Adam Boyce's job with someone else. Don't cross Sony.
Number 9. If only the PS4 Pro could be converted into a roach trap, we could sell it and make millions.
Number 8. Sony's thinking heavily of changing their slogan from "For the Players" to "For the Players that didn't think Microsoft's Phil Spencer would have an attack plan behind him."
Number 7. We're going to need to sell some more office buildings.
Number 6. Sony will pull all their 4K TVs from stores and start a campaign for 8K. Because after all, any number larger than the last number makes you a better gamer, according to Sony.
That's true.
Very true.
Number 5. We can always put the leftover PS4s in the desert next to old copies of E.T. on the Atari 2600.
Number 4. In an attempt to one-up Microsoft at E3 this year, Sony will now call their E3 stage show E4 for 2 reasons. 4 is greater than 3, which Sony knows fools the public every time, and E4 was also the last missile that Sean Layden called out that sunk Yoshida's battleship in an unfriendly game the two have started playing at the top of executive-level meetings.
Number 3. We'll just tell people resolution doesn't matter now. What? What resolution?
Number 2. Sony will announce at E3 that the new SKU for the PS4 Pro Slim will be known as the PS4 Proud, because Sony is proud to sit back again and let Microsoft show Sony exactly how a console is done, in which Sony can copy the gameplay again for the PS5.
And number 1, the number 1 thing Sony's thinking, I need a drink past the sake. And that's our top 10 list this week. If you guys have a suggestion for the top 10 list, please let us know and we'll be happy to do it. Until then, we'll catch you guys next time on Mooch and Crap's Top 10. Awesome. That was a great top 10. Past the sake.
we went a little David Letterman for you guys on that one. That was right. So hopefully you guys like it. If you guys have any ideas or top 10 thoughts, just hit us up on Twitter. Hit J-Dubs up. You know how to get a hold of us on MNC Mornings and let us know, because we're always willing to take on a new topic.
Hey, you know what's funny was Noof gave us a good one, and I was like, let's do that one. And Mooch is like, I honestly can't think of 5 of those.
Yeah. Yeah. You did give us a decent one. I was like, I can't even come up with 5 for that. Yeah. I'm like, no. But hey, not everything's a home run, people.
Yeah.
Okay? Sometimes you can bunt your way to first.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. It is what it is.
Yeah. That was a good. That was still a good one though, in my opinion. Like that was a funny one.
Well, as we get closer and closer to E3, it's always just fun to see how the companies react, right? And I mean, I thought that was just interesting because Sony really is to some extent scrambling. And we talked about it on Xbox Nation a few weeks ago. We could talk about it briefly right now. Microsoft is coming out with hardware, and hardware is always hard to compete with. It's always hard to compete with, especially right now when you have Digital Foundries and EA, and you have Todd Howard come out saying, wow, they're really doing this. This is really what it is. This is no joke. And Sony went out, and I mean, they scrambled. Let's be honest. They sunk marketing rights into all 4 of the top multi-plat games coming out. And some people call that genius. Myself personally, I call that a bit of a scramble. That's a lot of money that goes out there when your game is going to be on the other game. That's going to be on the other console. You know, Red Dead 2 is on Xbox Scorpio. Battlefront 2, Scorpio, and coming out a week earlier and cheaper on Scorpio. Okay, 10% discount 7 days earlier. I mean, there's just, there's a lot of things. Destiny 2, okay, multiplayer shooter games just feel better with the Xbox controller. That's just an opinion, but it's also an opinion shared by most gamers with most polls. Right? Yeah, most polls.
That's hashtag facts, bro.
It's definitely a hashtag fact. I mean, because most polls agree with me there. So, I mean, at least it's the majority. It's not everybody. So when Sony goes and spends all this money out there for a game that's also on the competing platform, that says something. The other thing I brought up a couple weeks ago that I'll bring up again here is we talked about the fact that I don't think Sony's got too many of their first-party studio games coming out this year. And if you don't believe me, before Colin left a Kind of Funny Game, he said it himself. He believes that possibly only Days Gone will be the only game that Sony releases this fall. Yeah. So with that being said, and that's coming from a Sony station, not me. Sony had to heavily invest in these third-party deals because they don't have a lot coming out of their camp.
Absolutely. MNC Mornings, what's up? Good morning.
Hey, Mooch and Crap. Hey, welcome back, guys. Same with you, Graphic God. Love what you guys got going on. Hey, so I wanted you guys to play a little devil's advocate right now. I'm an Xbox dude. I'm so Xbox that my whole collection is on Xbox. And with Xbox doing stuff like the Game Pass, EA Access, their awesome exclusives, and so on, how can you sell me and say I'm getting, say, something like a Switch or a PlayStation, or can you with all the Xboxes going on? So I'm going to listen to your response because I kind of find it interesting. And you guys all take care. And again, welcome back to the three of you.
Good call. I could sell you on a Switch pretty easy. It's different enough that it's a good complementary thing. You can take it with you on the go and things like that. So I think that in and of itself, and the games are so drastically different that you can't find on Xbox. Yeah. The PS4 is a bit of a harder sell. Like if you like baseball, there's a baseball game on there. So I mean, you got that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
well, PS4, what do you say for PS4? I mean, my thing with PS4 is this. If you like, let's just forget about the UIs and the differences here or there, because you're going to navigate, if you like a certain car, you're still going to buy a car. If you don't like the new way the dash was set up on it, you're still going to go buy that car you like. My point being is that let's get past all those nuances. Let's talk about something that's true. If you like Naughty Dog, okay? If you like, pardon me for not knowing the God of War folks there.
Sony Santa Monica.
Santa Monica. If you're a fan of those types of developers, you need to buy a PS4, okay? Because let's just be honest. I think Naughty Dog does a great job. They really do. They do a good job. The Last of Us is going to be great. But realistically, other than that, I don't know how to sell you on that. As far as Nintendo goes, I really want to flex. And Nintendo fans will agree with me here. This is why Nintendo's sticking with it. I do want to flex the muscles of portability. We're not like these people on IGN. They're like, well, I just threw my Xbox One S and I threw my PS4 in my backpack. I don't wear a backpack. Okay, I'm an adult. Now we're gonna sorry, guys. It's not
hell, Mooch. I wear a backpack. I'm an adult.
If you're an adult and you wear a backpack, then when you're working on your, whatever it is, that's what you wear a fanny pack too. Like my whole point is like, I don't.
Now that would be bad.
Well, my whole point is I don't travel like that. Okay, but now when you're talking about a tablet that fits in any bag, anything you're carrying, and when you're traveling, and when you have the likes of like a Skyrim remastered coming out on the Switch, I mean, I travel for it. When you travel, you have to be able to. If you want a game, it's nice to be able to pull out a tablet. You can hook it up to the hotel's HDMI, and you can you're just playing and you're enjoying the shit out of what you got, and you're playing at least Xbox One, PS4 vanilla graphical capabilities, decent, at least something close to that. Will you be playing the latest and greatest games? No, but it's better than nothing. Or if you're an indie nut, it's going to be great for you. Also play on the airplane and the airports. Some people
like what Phil Spencer just said. He played Zelda the whole way over to Europe.
Yeah, I mean,
Zelda on his Switch. I mean,
it's crazy not to do that. You can do that, and so Switch is a neat unconsole concept that Nintendo's really, really sticking with because Nintendo knows it works over in Asia very well. And they know that as the market demands it and they're seeing iPad and tablet and iPhone video games pick up, they know that they can get that mobile on-the-go customer, which is probably 40% of, they're not paying $60 per game, but they're paying $1 to $5 a game, and it adds up when you have such a huge user base.
Yeah, there's quite a call for that sponsor that we had from last week for this week, and we will play that when we get to about 300 likes. But first, let's go ahead and rack up one of those voicemails, J-Dubs.
Hey Mooch, hey Crap, and hey J-Dubs. It's Tony Berg. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I've got a question for you. Very simple question. My personal favorite developer is Remedy. My favorite game of all time is Alan Wake on 360. Quantum Break was amazing. So my question is very simple. Alan Wake 2, Quantum Break 2. Which would you pick and why? Thanks, gentlemen. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.
Jeez,
wait, Quantum Break 2 or what?
Or Alan Wake 2. Which one would you rather have?
I'm going to go Alan Wake 2.
I would go Alan Wake 2 as well.
Yeah, I know it'd be good for us both to pick a different one for contrast and discussion, but to be honest with you,
but I'm sorry, Alan Wake.
Alan Wake 2 was Alan Wake. But my point being is that Quantum Break.
Maybe J-Dubs would.
Yeah, J-Dubs, you have a. Would you like to change it up?
I like both games quite a bit. I really liked Alan Wake, but because Quantum Break was the last game that I played, and I really liked that. The powers, throwing that into the whole shooter genre, I think that was a great idea, and I'd like to see an expansion on that. So if I would see a Quantum Break 2 with even more powers and more mind-boggling special effects, I think that would be a great game as well.
Yeah. Well, luckily or not luckily for any of us, neither is coming, probably. Remedy is now making some sort of looks like 2007 Call of Duty game, aren't they? Crap for somebody.
Yeah, they're doing like a free-to-play thing, but they're also working on something else.
They are working on something else.
Yeah, people were really excited, and I'm like, yeah, we'll see you in 2022. Maybe that, maybe Shenmue 3 will release by then, or that Death Stranding. So you never know. It'll be in good company. Like for me, I'm more interested in the here and now, what's coming out in the next 12, 14 months.
Yeah, and I kind of want to bring that up. I'm glad you brought that up. I was talking about it yesterday a little bit, and I'll discuss it here briefly. A lot of people keep giving Sony credit when you said Death Stranding. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, Mooch, don't you see Death Stranding's coming and Detroit and this and that?" First of all, Colin Moriarty again, who Colin's actually, believe it or not, was the voice of reason some of the times on Kind of Funny. He's he had a couple outbursts, but we all do. And he said basically Days Gone didn't impress him at all. As far as Death Stranding, that could be very niche, right? Like very, very small. That may not really pick up a lot of people are like, oh, no, it's a Kojima joint, so it's just going to be great. Not necessarily.
A joint,
you know what I mean? Like it's not. So when you see these 5-6 games coming out by Sony that are all these single player type games, Detroit's not going to do well. What were the other games that were like Detroit that company made? Crap, the ones that were like
they did Heavy Rain.
Thank you. Yes. Not a lot of people want to sit there and press a button.
Souls.
Telltale kind of took over that, and they've got a lot of the big franchises locked down. It's one thing when you're playing through Guardians of the Galaxy Volume whatever, or you're playing Walking Dead, or you're playing Game of Thrones, the Telltale, or the Batman series, right? They've really got everything that we kind of piques a lot of people's interest. But this Detroit, walk to the left, now walk to the right. Now slide. I don't know if a lot of people really want to, you know what I mean? I don't know if people really want to do that on a game where they don't really know the story, if they're not going to feel an attachment to the characters. So I don't really realize that that's going to be, I think Sony's going to have a lot of games that come out. They don't do so well. And of course the media, and nobody says anything. Nobody says anything when a Sony game does meh. Like Knack. Does anybody think Knack 2 is going to be revolutionary? No, I mean... So it is what it is.
Well, no. I think that some people will think that just because they think everything Sony does is great. You know what I mean? But as far as I'm concerned, it's it's that game's pretty average. Well, games where you can't control the camera angle in this day and age, it's like having a game where the protagonist doesn't talk. And I know Jay won't agree with this, but everybody loves, what the hell's that damn game, Half-Life 2 or whatever. But for me, I can't get into the games where the character doesn't talk.
Yeah, that is hard. Yeah, when the character doesn't talk, there is a part where it pulls you out a bit. I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. But
yeah, like in this day and age, the protagonists should all talk.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I guess like there's some with like the Nintendo stuff because it's a kitty. Did you see that tweet with the MNC Mornings thing?
No.
Where I'm a turd.
No.
That's
like, great.
Yeah, I love it. It's like the fans love me and I love them. You know
there
what
it
I
is.
mean?
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
I'm a poop emoji apparently.
Yeah.
So
well, no,
yeah,
but let me issue somebody in the chat here says Mooch is making the argument that Xbox gamers don't want single player games. Genesis fan, you couldn't probably be any more wrong. Here's the thing: I don't just get on to play multiplayer games at all. Like did you hear what I just said? I'm playing BioShock. What am I playing multiplayer on that? I'm not. I want to get into Prey, single player. I like single player games. I played Halo, but see, like when there's games like Halo and Gears, I play through the campaign before I even really touch the multiplayer. So I like single player games. I also grew up in an era where it was only single player games. Okay, the NES and the SNES. Unless you had a buddy over to play like couch co-op, you were playing single player. So no, that's not true at all. All I'm saying is that my comment to you, Genesis Fan 01, is maybe you're making the case that you only want to play single player games. It's just that's the thing. You can't sit there and say, well, you play single player games and you're right, and I'm saying multiplayer games, and nobody's really right or wrong there. All I'm saying is I think both consoles have a fair share of both, don't they? Like I don't understand what the hell we're talking about. It's almost another made up subject.
Yeah, it is. I agree. Like Gears, to me, I played Gears originally for the story, and I play Halo more for the story. I mean, I think the multiplayer is super fun, and I suck at it though. But when we play like the private stuff, that's mostly what I play. You know what I mean? So, but for the most part, like Halo and Gears are stuff that I like to enjoy the story of. So, J-Dubs, we have a quick little sponsor break, eh?
So yes, we're gonna play our favorite sponsor?
Yeah, our favorite sponsor because we hit the likes that we were supposed to.
Awesome. Okay, let's go.
I love this. I gotta mute my mic.
Making your way on the interweb today takes everything you got. Taking your hate and all your worries about Microsoft's Xbox. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you gotta go where everybody hates the same, and they're always mad at change. You wanna be where you can see the ponies are all the same. You wanna be where everybody hates Bill Gates. You wanna be where ponies know the media is all the same. You wanna go where everyone loves Sony.
Such a great,
I love that. You know what I mean? And maybe some of you guys watched it there for the first time. Our sponsors are great. I got to be honest. Like these are
the Roach Coach.
Yes, the Roach Coach are
fantastic.
Fantastic sponsors, guys. Really like on the ball. Absolutely, completely appreciate everything they do for us and all the support and things like that. It's good to have a good support group. You know what I mean, Mooch? Like,
it is. It just makes me feel good. It's why we get up every Sunday and can't wait to do this. Just the support from the community and the support from our, conglomerate companies.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Who do we have on deck there, J-Dubs?
We have the Outcast Kid.
The Outcast Kid, huh?
Yo, Mooch and Crap, it's the Outcast Kid. I have a question. With the absence of Peter Moore at EA, as you all know, a few weeks ago was actually his last day at EA. Do you think Microsoft and Xbox will have the same relationship with EA as they had before? Because as you know, Star Wars Battlefront 2 has ties with PlayStation to get the DLC a few weeks or a week in advance or a month. I'm not sure how that works, but it's just like Call of Duty. But I wanted to know if you guys think that Microsoft will have the same relationship with EA as before, because Peter Moore, used to be head of Xbox. I'm sure that's one reason why they had ties with EA for so long. With now with him gone, do you think that their ties are going to be broken with Microsoft? Thank you.
Crap, you take that away. Usually you're an EA.
You know what? I think that, I mean, it could eventually, but it all comes down to money. I'm sure whatever partnerships they have going on, they have them going on because, you know, Microsoft pays for that. Like Sony doesn't get partnerships with Activision without paying money. You know, like everything costs money. So whatever. And what happened was the Battlefront stuff isn't really an EA thing. That's a Disney thing. If you notice, all the Disney stuff is on PlayStation, like that, because that's like over Activision. That's over EA's head. That's directly with Disney. So that's why that's like that. But again, I don't care about marketing rights for that because I'll be playing Battlefront 2 a week early game, and I'm going to be playing it on a 4K 60 frames per second monster.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's pretty much what I care about. You know what I mean? Like for me, having the best versions of these games is well worth it, and that's what I'm most excited for.
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft's not going to be able to show things on stage at E3 like per se the marketing deals that Sony has. I don't believe, but that comment you just made, crap, is what I think you're going to hear at least 2 or 3 executives say when they come out. You could play all your multi-plats on a 4K 60 frame monster. You're going to hear that quite a bit. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to talk specifics, but they're going to be general. And when they say those generalities, it'll be because they have confirmation that the Scorpio version is ready to launch on day one.
And I think gamers are going to do their part too. We're going to all like have our footage and stuff like that. And I've said this before, and some people weren't happy with it. But when you see pro footage with low res textures and no 4K textures running up against Xbox Scorpio 4K with textures and all that stuff, you're going to know a difference because even if you don't have a 4K monitor or 4K TV, tell the difference. That Forza pick, I look at on my PC monitor that's only 1080p and it looks amazing still, right? Whereas if I look at stuff on my 4K TV, it looks amazing as, you know what I mean? It's going to be even better. But I think that's what people are going to notice, that these games are going to look so much better on Scorpio, and that's what it's built for. Like when people want to know who's this built for, Phil Spencer said in an interview, he said, you know, the Scorpio, the person that's going to buy Scorpio is probably someone that has an Xbox One S, that has a PS4, PS4 Pro. They want to play the best multi-platform games. They're going to keep their PS4 to play the exclusives or whatever, but they're going to get a Scorpio because then they can play the Xbox exclusives at their best, and they can play all the multi-platform games at their best. And that's what's going to happen. And you're going to see the AAA games start to adopt that. And I think that's what we're going to see in the future. You know, people will keep their PS4s and play those couple of games that interest them a year that come out. But for the most part, the games that we're interested in are the Call of Duties, the Battlefronts, the Battlefields, the Maddens, the NBA 2Ks, and all these games are going to be better on Scorpio. They're not only going to look better, they're going to play better.
You're shaking your head. He's right. And if you're shaking your head saying that doesn't matter, listen, that's the 360. Listen, this is nothing crap just said is revolutionary. 360 mantra was exactly that. Okay. The PS4 this generation was exactly that. Okay. And now with Scorpio, Phil has seen that that's just the way the market is. They tried to do what Sony was doing with the whole, like, they did a lot of first party games this year and everybody just didn't take to it. Okay. And Sony did some first party games, but think about the ones that really triumphed and did well. Uncharted 4, no brainer, right? I mean, no brainer. Of course, we know that's going to do well. Okay. And I'm not talking about just like, hey, we squeaked over 1 million. We did it. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm like that's not, I mean, if you guys
high five,
right? That goes for Xbox and Sony. It goes for Xbox. And like, we squeaked over 1 million, 1,000,001. Can someone give me that platinum record? No. They want to see substantial growth. Okay. And, you know, Horizon kind of got that, but Horizon did that because we haven't had a big open world game in a long time. It's a new IP. But realistically, after 2-3 weeks, it was like, you know, and I mean, it's like, okay, now we're not talking about it anymore. And now we got to wait all the way till Horizon 2 gets a CGI next PSX. You know, it is what it is. But like, that's why you're going to start to see, I think, more of the traditional, you know, that's like Uncharted, where they say, we're not making another Uncharted. 12 months later, Uncharted comes out again without Drake. You know, it's like they know that's what sells. So that's what's going to happen. You know what I mean? There's a reason McDonald's doesn't turn and start selling tacos because they just keep taking a cheeseburger and flipping the bun upside down and call it a different name. It's still a burger. That's what sells.
You gotta love the moochisms, man. That's
it is what it is.
I agree.
Here, and now Phil Spencer. Here's the other thing. If you guys want a mooch prediction, Phil saw the light. Okay, Phil's going to be doing. He made a console that makes his third-party games look great. And next year, you're going to see Microsoft start to grab marketing rights again because that's where the money is.
Yeah.
And Phil said, no, I don't like that. It doesn't matter what Phil also said. Resolution wasn't a big deal.
And they built a box.
And here comes a monster.
Yeah.
Right. So
Phil also said they weren't interested in Gears anymore, and then bought the IP. So
Phil's not like what Phil says. Like any of us, right? There's times you're sitting there at noon, you just get done eating lunch, and you're like, nah, I'm not gonna get Chinese tonight. I'm kind of stuffed from lunch. You get home, and you're like, I don't feel like cooking. Someone order Chinese. You know what I mean? Like that's just like we all say stuff and then go back on it. It's human nature. So, Phil made a third-party monster. Also, he's going to also be able to put his fingerprint on it with some first-party games. And then next year, you're going to see him put big money in the third-party marketing because that's where the money is. And that's just the way it is, people.
Here's the thing also, like having the X-Fest documents, which, as you know, because Mooch, I showed some stuff to you and Dealer and Hellhammer and GKB. So, that stuff's legit. According to these, it looks like they're going to do a Gamescom, and they're going to do Tokyo Game Show. So they have stuff. I think that it's wondering what that is. I think a lot, and I've said this before, I don't remember which podcast it was, but I think they're going to do they're going to get a lot of the Japanese support that Phil went over there for, and they're going to announce that at the Tokyo Game Show because it's so easy to port stuff over now.
Right.
Like what
I don't think it's the port thing though, crap. I've heard you use that twice now, and that's fine. I don't think you're wrong. That's true.
But here's why you're wrong.
No, it's not. Here's why. What you said is 100% right. I just think that the actual reason is Phil either did or did not strike a deal with Japanese companies. Like it's not like he didn't go over there and they're like, we don't want to do business with Phil. Phil sat down and he's like, hey, you get port in 2 days. Screw it. Let's do business with Phil. That's not how it went down.
I mean, he could have offered them money or like see how it is or whatever. But look, the bottom line is if two people from a company can port this over in a day or two, even if it only sells 50,000, 100,000, that's more money. Try it, see what's up. As far as I'm concerned. But let's rack up another voicemail.
Yeah, let's get a voicemail, J-Dubs. We do have quite a few, and everyone's looking forward to that great EA access.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys are going to notice, but Mooch is probably in that pinwheel. I'm trying to smooch that myself. I'm not going to lie to you. My EA access just went under, so I got to get a new EA access code.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got Macintosh on deck.
Our good friend Macintosh.
Hello, guys. This is Macintosh, aka Full of 14. Sorry for my accent. I hope I'm not sounds too stereotypish. Anyway, I have a question for you. I'm so excited for Project Scorpio. Now we have power. In what kind of games Microsoft should invest money? Could it be sequels of AAA titles, sequels of new IPs, brand new games or games from the past, like Killer Instinct for example? And I have a request for Jay. How about t-shirt with Kamasuki Dragon 18 logo on it? Thank you guys. Have a nice day.
Hey.
Oh, that's a great idea, Macintosh.
Yes. I want to see Microsoft invest in some new IP as well. But again, it's up to the community to support that because they've been doing that this generation, in my opinion, from the beginning, whether it be from third or second party. Just right from the beginning, they had like Rise was a new IP. Titanfall came out a little bit after that. Sunset Overdrive a little bit after that. Recore Quantum Break after that. And of course, Sea of Thieves is coming up. So as far as I'm concerned, they're doing a good job by bringing out the new IP. Ori and the Blind Forest, another one. Cuphead will be another one. All different sorts. I'm of the AAA variety. That's my favorite. So hopefully they continue to bring like the AAA exclusives and things like that. So that's my opinion.
No, I think shout out to Macintosh too. The guy is, I believe he's from Germany, correct? And
I think he might be Russian.
He's Russian. My apologies. Yeah. My apologies. I knew that actually. So awesome to have him. He's a big time fan. He's been with us since day one too. Crap. So maybe we should. I'd like to see a Kawasaki Dragon 18 come out. Because 17 did so well.
Yeah, what's funny is somebody I was gaming. I forget who it was. I was gaming with somebody who's going to E3 and FanFest. And he was trying to buy a Thanks Mooch and Crap shirt. I don't know. Hey, J-Dubs, is one of those available?
The new Thanks Mooch and Crap shirt. I can put it up today. I haven't had a
Yeah,
chance to do it.
because he was like, I'm gonna buy one and then take pictures with Phil and everybody, and I thought that was like the coolest fucking thing. I was like, dude, you taking pictures with Phil and them wearing a Thanks Mooch and Crap shirt? That would be amazing.
That would be my new profile gamer pick.
Yes, like amazing. Like thanks Mooch and Crap. I think that would be fantastic. Like you know what I mean? Like, hey, we're not there, but we're there in a shirt form.
Oh, yeah, we're there in some sort of spirit.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he wears your shirt as well, J-Dubs. Your
so am I. So am I. He's got it. He's actually responded to me. He said that he's got it. So, if he wears it, maybe he'll wear it to FanFest. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. That would be awesome. So let's
People
go.
People are asking us. We roll another one. Someone was just asking if we're going to be streaming E3. We will be doing our day coverage. We do a hour and a half before the show. We do an entire live reaction during the show, and then we do a post show about an hour after. We take a break, grab something to eat.
And the difference is we're doing this like the Sunday stuff.
How great is that?
Yeah, and then we're also like the Monday stuff because I always take that Monday off as well. So like we'll be able to cover like a lot of stuff. I mean, it is hectic, but it is fun as well, and that should be fun. Like it'll be good to have Mooch back on like the BGST train. I mean, there'll probably be a mix mash of people, honestly, because like Tim, I know will be there up at E3, so he's not going to be on the show. So it's all dependent. And some people like to do their own coverage or whatever, but hopefully, we'll have a good group of people and a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's rack up another voicemail, J-Dubs.
Yes, please.
Okay, we've got Longshot 316.
Longshot. I think he's a Patreon supporter.
Yes, he is.
Hey, this is Longshot 316, first-time caller, long-time listener, and an MNC morning Patreon. Hope everyone's doing well. Mooch, glad you're back. Mooch, I'm kind of curious if you're interested in the new Battlefront 2, where you actually get a story mode and you get to play as the Empire. Crap, I'd like your input too. Mooch, glad you're back. Good luck.
I couldn't tell if he's a crapaholic or what, because he sounds pretty. Yeah, he's like Mooch. I'm a fan. I'm glad you're back. But I like you too, Crap. You're okay. I mean, you're
Crap.
You're
thanks
a good
for
guy.
joining Mooch this morning.
Yes, it's Crap liver. Yeah.
Listen, I'll answer Longshot's question. To be honest with you, I'm definitely grabbing Battlefront 2. I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in the single player campaign on that. I think it's going to be. I wouldn't use the words thrown together, everybody. So don't freak out. Let's not have everybody freak out. All I'm saying is that I just think that you've got 3 different developers making this game, right? Crap. One's doing the single player, one's doing the multiplayer, one's doing the
one's doing the space multiplayer. Yeah.
So my whole thing is just that, and it's only 2 years since the other one came out. It's just very quick. It's almost like they're throwing these things together. I have the same concern with the movies. We went decades without a movie, and now we're getting one every other year. If you're talking about the main story, and we're getting these sides, I'm just concerned. You gotta be careful. People, be careful what you ask for. People, you just may get it. So no, I will be getting it, but I'm actually more excited about the multiplayer.
Yeah, think about this though, right? Like, those are all big studios in and of themselves. 2 years is more than enough time to do the one specific thing, right?
Well, you say that, Crap, but we've seen big companies falter on less time.
But look, the multiplayer was hot on the first Battlefront, and they've already addressed it. It's going to have classes now instead of the more casual way that they did it last time, which I'm happy about that. Like I said, I've had people that I game with that are coming out of the woodwork. Like, oh man, they're going to have classes back. It's going to be great. We're going to get the clan back together. Call of Duty boots on the ground, clan back together. I mean, who knows if that'll ever happen, but it's one of those things that I hope happens. That's a game that I'm pre-ordering for sure. I'm getting it. Like and at the very least, we have EA access, or I do. I don't know. You're trying to mooch a code, but you know what I mean? We could always win one from Larry on Free Code Friday.
Yeah, there's always, I always rely on Fridays for a great mooching. You know what I mean? Like I just see Free Code Friday contest. And I get real excited about that. It's just unbevable.
It is.
I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. I'm going to get trolled by Larry. I'm actually going to win one time, and it's going to be like Hyper Light Drifter 2. And
you can just give it the GKB. Be like,
I'll give it the GKB, or I'll use it as a gift on this show.
Yeah.
But yeah, nonetheless, so you know, I do think that's the whole Battlefront 2. I'm very excited for, very excited to see it, and it's going to be gorgeous on Scorpio.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely the best version is going to be on Scorpio.
Well, yeah, that's from Microsoft, not from us.
And we have another voicemail from Xbox Trigger.
Oh, Triggered, nice.
Yes.
Crap, hey Jay, it's Xbox Trigger from Twitter, and my question today is, what do you think that that new company that does Disney Infinity toys, partnering with Microsoft, what game are you think they're doing? There's different, suggestions, maybe a Halo label game or like a Skylanders like game. I'm actually kind of interested because that's basically a new exclusive probably, and that's gonna be shown at E3. So good to know, and that helps broaden the audience because Nintendo their Amiibos, So if Microsoft had like something like that, maybe the Halo franchise of years, it would sell lots of money. And also my second question is, who do you think about Microsoft getting a profit from the Xbox division and the Sony fanboys, especially on Gap, going ballistics? Anyway, that's it. Have a good day. Bye.
What was the first part of that?
Okay, so the Disney Infinity developer have partnered with Microsoft.
Yes,
and they are making some kind of game. I was the only person to really run with that.
You did, yeah. I saw your video.
Like, it's hard to assume like, oh, they're going to do something toy based, but I would say that it could be about anything. If you look on their website, it looks like it looks like they do like Legos or Mega Block. Or like,
wouldn't it make sense, crap, if they married that into the Minecraft world? Because every kid wants the Minecraft Steve or whatever they're called, and all the characters.
Yeah, I mean, what if it is? But then, I mean, that's not going to be an exclusive. I would hope that whatever they're doing would possibly be exclusive because they have.
Maybe the toys might be exclusive.
Maybe, I doubt it.
Right.
I mean, it could be, but I mean, it's a situation where they have worked on open world games, so that could be something. Maybe it's maybe they're doing something. They are hiring for AAA games, so it is going to be something AAA. I'm not sure Minecraft is AAA. Just because they did toys before doesn't mean they'll do it again, especially since that seems to be like a failing thing. So I don't know.
It is just it's one of those like immediate rewards. Like everyone cashes in really quick, and then it just dies really quick. So
absolutely.
I don't think they're going to go that route as well. Crap, I think they're going to use their talents for something else.
Absolutely. We have one more voicemail.
Let's do that and hit the wheel of wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Triple Cup
Chuck. He spits those mad rhymes.
Oh yes.
What up with your crap and Mooch and Jay Williams? This your boy Triple Cup Chuck, and I'm up. And look, I'm a Battlefield 1 player, but I want to talk about some COD, some COD, Call of Duty, the game that everybody love to hate and hate to love. Look, I got my own little twist I had wanted to put on there. Y'all remember way back in 2013 when they were saying DRM wasn't cool? Now it's 2017 since Sony don't have no 4K Blu-ray player. I guess always online is okay. Well, since always online is okay for my Call of Duty players, what they need to do is turn Call of Duty into an annually subscription. That way you will be able to purchase the annually subscription, have your maps and have your modes, and every so often they just add maps and add modes, and when your subscription up, you just re-up your subscription, and then you have all your old maps and then all the new maps that they add. And for my people like Randall Thor who just like the single player experiences, they should just have like a season pass that you can purchase separately, and you can purchase it from the store physical if you want to, or you can purchase it digitally, and they'll have like your campaign, and they have like your zombie modes for people that like to play like that. Well, look, this your boy Triple Cup Chuck, and I'm out, and let me know what y'all think.
I love Triple Cup, man. That is great.
Yeah. Where do you want to?
Well, I mean, I think I'm trying to say he was saying let's give some respect to actually Call of Duty, and I don't understand what he was saying as far as the I didn't catch the part with the.
He's more of a Battlefield guy. I did the shop with him yesterday, but he said that the new Call of Duty looks hot.
It does.
So,
it looks really good, and I mean, you guys know I avoided. So I took a good year. What was it? 2 years off, because when you skip a cycle, it's basically 2 full years. So I took off 2 years and didn't buy Black Ops 3. And then I did go back last year, right? Yeah, I know, right? And then I did go back last year for the whole nostalgia is a hell of a drug. And this is the one that's actually, I shouldn't have bought last year. I should have actually waited the 4 years and actually came back to get it now. This is the true nostalgia, but they're actually building it up from the ground up. It seems like where they enhanced the engine or they've tweaked the engine. They're really getting into it. Sledgehammer said that they went on site. They took different trips out to different parts of Europe. to get the look and feel of the location. And all of that really does play a role. They actually have the guns that are going to sound and look like the actual World War II replicas. Just a lot of great. I said this last week. I'll say it again. World War II is the most fascinating war. I don't care where you live. I don't care if you live in Australia. I don't care if you live in France or you live in the United States, Canada. It doesn't matter. It was a fascinating part of history for the world. And everybody's kind of lured to it, whether it be in books, novels, real life historical shows on the History Channel or games.
This one's supposed to be historically accurate. It's like I guess it was like when the Germans were down like to their last little bit or whatever, trying to like formulate last drastic plans or whatever. So it's kind of exciting to see that. So we do have the Wheel of Wonder, but I also have a 3-month Xbox Live Gold membership, and I think we should do that to. I think somebody should call in for that. So we'll open up the phone lines. MC Space Mornings on Skype. All you have to do is be the first caller. First caller is going to get
3 months of Xbox Live, folks.
3 months.
Can't really
All you got to do is call in MC Space Mornings on Skype. Just call in and be like, "What up?" And then you can you get it.
It'd be nice if you actually said a sentence instead of just blah.
Yes. Or be like, "Hey, I'm a crapaholic." Yeah. That would be even better.
I'm a crapaholic.
Yeah, I'm a crapaholic. Crap for president. You rock. You rock. I love watching your videos. Crap.
Who calls in for crap.
Yeah. So that's all you got to do, and you get 3 months. So we'll see how that goes. 3 months of Xbox Live Gold.
All right. Very cool.
Yeah, courtesy of actually that would be the Downer. Somebody else gave me another 3 months too, but maybe we'll hold off another week.
Shout out to Jeremy, man. I talk to Jeremy a lot on Twitter. Guy's awesome. Like a lot of people think he's not necessarily, he's the Downer, but he actually makes a lot of sense sometimes. Look a little deeper into what he's writing, folks. He's a great guy.
Apparently, MC Mornings just came live on Skype, so I think J Dubs was offline on that, and then I threw him a curveball. I was like, "Hey, get back on there, and we'll take a call to see who can win that." I don't know. It's just like we had a couple minutes, but we got the Wheel of Wonder and all that good stuff. So, I figured
try again, folks. The MNC Mornings is open now.
We do have a winner.
We have who is it?
I'm gonna get him to talk to you.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. You're live with Mooch and Crap.
What's up, Mooch and Crap? I am a crapaholic and a moochologist. Thanks for the code.
Nice. Moochologist. Fantastic. That's new.
Yes, that was all day, right?
That was all day.
Nice. Yeah, all day is cleaning up. He is like a mooch in training. Proud of you, bro.
Yeah, he is. Nice. He's a good guy. Absolutely. And you know what? That was I thought that was good because like the little Skype thing that comes up and stuff. That is all. I think this is one. And I don't usually toot our own horn, but been one of our better episodes. Things worked the way they were supposed to. We had a good amount of voicemails. Yeah, the calls were great.
I had to work on some different techniques for this episode so that we wouldn't have the failures we had for the last couple of weeks. So I worked extra hard,
and we appreciate that, man. Like it really paid off. And actually, we have some new some new things coming down your guys' way. The rundown and some other things. It's going to be really cool. Let's go ahead and do the Wheel of Wonder though. Let's go ahead and
this is for an EA Access full year, right? 12-month crap.
Yeah, 12 months of EA Access, and let's see what happens. Let's Wheel of Wonder, spin, spin, spin. Who the hell is gonna win?
Who's gonna win? No whammies, no whammies.
No whammies.
Yoshida wins.
Unbelievable. There you go.
Yoshida, wow. Like you can't make that shit up, man.
Congratulations, Yoshida.
Yeah, congratulations. I like your enthusiasm, Mooch. You're like, yay, congratulations.
Look at the bright side, guys. Like once Yoshida gets to use some EA Access, maybe he'll want to bring it to the PlayStation platform.
That's right. We may be doing a service for everybody. That's true.
Yes. Right. That would be awesome. Absolutely awesome. So Yoshida, congratulations on the 1 year of EA Access. that would be awesome. It's always funny, like people in the chat, like just real quick, it's like it's rigged. It's like completely an app.
Yeah, it's an
You
app.
put in the
guys.
name.
It's a
It's
random
totally,
app. It really is.
totally not rigged.
Yeah.
If it was rigged, I would be on the wheel.
Yeah, so
And I
it's
can
like
guarantee you that.
it's completely, and the same thing with there's a difference. The voicemails have a little beep at the beginning, like a voicemail. The live calls, the reason why there's no interaction there is because there's a second delay. So if they say something and we respond, they don't hear it for 35 seconds, and that's really bad for the on-air stuff. So that's why we do it this way. When people call in on MC Mornings, it's live. They go, "Hey, this is whoever, Mooch Crap, what's up? Glad you're back. Here's my question," and I'll hang up so I can hear the answer. That's how you do it. That's that's what happens. Like there's no contrived, there's nothing fake. There's none of that. You know what I mean? Like the bits that we do are bits. You know, like that's the jokes and stuff.
Crap,
So,
do you have a person's name who gave the EA access? So someone did mention it in the chat. Do you have his name?
EA access?
Yeah, give him a shout out.
That's he gave it to Jay.
Was it Tony Almeida?
I have to go back and look. That sounds correct.
Well,
yeah.
Tony said
I want to call him Tony Almeida because isn't he the character that was on 24?
It could be. I'm not sure, but thank you, Tony, for that. That was great. Yes. It's always nice to have fans you can see anything that the fans give us to give away, we give away. None of it is used internally. We want to make sure that we keep. This is your show, so we can't thank you enough. Today was great, Crap. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And if you guys want, man, the Patreon link, we could always use support. That helps with the giveaways. That helps with making the show better. The show's on iTunes and Google Play. We want to give away more stuff. Continue to get better equipment and better sounding and things like that. So we definitely want to. What should we close out with? Let's close out with the PS4 Roach Coach right into our song, if that's possible. The outro there.
Totally possible because I am the master of the video.
Well, we like to make sure our sponsors get their airtime. They do contribute so much.
If you guys missed it, we have a new sponsor, and we're gonna play that for you, and it's gonna lead right to the outro.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely. Everybody enjoy your Sunday. Not
yes.
sure what's on television, but I'm sure you'll all find something or game. We'll catch you guys. I'll be on Xbox Live throughout the day. So if you see me, shout out, say hello, send a friend request.
Yes. Have a great day. Awesome. Thank you.
We here at Sony are constantly looking for ways to stay afloat, whether it be selling off office buildings, closing down entire divisions, or loaning our superhero characters to much more talented movie studios so they can actually make good movies with them. So naturally, when we learned that Roaches love the PS4, we thought of a way to capitalize and cash in on this. Introducing the PS4 Roach Coach. I know what you're thinking. Isn't this just a regular PS4? And no, idiot, you'd be wrong. This is the PS4 Pro. We needed something that could put off enough heat to fry roaches completely. Setup is easy and simple. Plug your PS4 Roach Coach in, set it on your entertainment center, turn it on, and voila! Roaches are instantly attracted to the PS4 due to the large vents. Roaches check in, but they don't check out. Pick yours up today for the low price of $399.99. There's only one Roach Coach, made by Sony.